videos that I have recorded from the red-headed fairy tale storyteller. I have 1,400 videos in my repertoire of videos saved on drives, actually saved on an external drive, and also uploaded to my channel. And it's hard to go through these videos because if you were to go through 1,400 videos, you're talking about well over 700, 800, 900 hours of just watching the video. But if you want to make notes and comment on the things that are in the video, as you saw in yesterday's red-headed fairy tale stories, in 31 minutes there were 109 absolute lies incorporated in a 31-minute video. Some truths, and today's video is going to be along those lines, except oh God, this one is almost comedic in nature, because the red-headed fairy tale story maker, the red-headed fairy tales story video video blogger, it's comedic in nature because the little fella in the video makes it clear as day he's going to come to my house and knock me out after he asks me a series of questions. And if he doesn't like the answers that he gets, and I have it all recorded here, he's going to knock me out. Now, this is the truth. Now, I'm going to go through this 10-minute video that Roberto done, All Up in Your Geek. He's the one that actually took these clips from 2 different videos that I'm going to review, and then he posted it on his channel. Now, I have both of these videos in their entirety, but I just don't have editing skills. So Roberto edited out the important parts of the clips themselves and highlighted what he said along with the titles of the videos. But I will tell you, this is an absolute truth. It was because of this very video that I went to the NBI and filed a case against the red-headed fairy tale story maker, and 2 other videos where he threatened me in various ways. Now, I didn't do so in fear for my life per se. I did so to protect him more than anything else, because if he came here, it would be more problematic for him than it would be for me. I can't indulge, I can't explain it much further than that, but I was actually doing him a favor by not allowing him to come here, or at least I was notifying the NBI in written format that I wanted charges filed against this man, because he had every intention of coming to my house. According to his videos, his intention was to come to my house and demand money for some t-shirts with caricature drawings that I had on them. And if I didn't produce the amount of money that he was going to demand from me, and he didn't like the answers, and you're going to hear this in the video, he was going to cold cock me. Now, me personally, I keep telling people, you want to come to my house, you come. You come. You have no idea how little I care whether you come to my house or not. But at that time, I was living with a girl named Daisy May, and that's also going to be incorporated in Roberto Dunn's All Up in Your Geek. In his video, it's an 11-minute video, a little under 11 minutes. It's also the red-headed fairy storyteller. He is also abusing myself and indirectly Daisy May and her future husband at the time, and lying about so many different things. But here's the bottom line. I went to the NBI when this video, the original video, was produced. I did so to save him the trouble of coming here. If he came here, it would be bad. It would be bad. One way or another, somebody is going to get hurt if he comes to my house. No one knows the exact outcome because it didn't happen. But one way or another, him coming to my house to confront me, demanding money, and then believing that he could cold cock me, it's not going to turn out well. So I actually did him a favor by not allowing him to come here and filing charges. And I made a video telling him I went to the NBI, and if you come here, it's going to be more problematic than you could ever imagine. But, you know, I can't stop you from coming here. I was afraid that they would come, or somebody would come, because at that time he was also declaring that his family is this, that, and the other thing, and he has family in Bahal, and you don't know her family, and I don't care about her family. I don't care about your girlfriend's family at all. They mean nothing to me. All that blah, blah, blah from your mouth means nothing. However, I did care that somebody would come when I wasn't here and I was in the city and do harm to Daisy May, which at the time she was my girlfriend. I didn't want that to happen. So Daisy and I both went to the NBI, and we both signed an affidavit that this was a true and correct video, and we recorded this. And it was a mistake on behalf of the NBI, which is why he didn't go to jail for this video, is because his face wasn't in the video. And no one knew that part of the law. That's why he didn't go to jail for making this video and two others that the NBI used, but his face was not in the video. And the NBI only uses videos with the face in the video. Now, even though when we went to court, the prosecutor knew damn well it was his voice, they knew he made the video. The prosecutor asked him, "Did you make this video, sir?" "No, sir. It's not my video." "Is that your voice, Mr. Fairy Tale Maker?" "No, sir, that's not my voice." "Is that your channel?" "No, sir, that's not my channel." And because he didn't have his face in the video, he walked. Otherwise, he would have went to jail. That's a fact. Then the case was dismissed on the grounds of not enough evidence, and that it was dismissed without prejudice, and I was allowed to bring the case back into the legal court system. Had the NBI agent used any one of another 8 videos in conjunction with the 3 that we brought to the prosecutor, they would, and any one of them that had his face in it, there were 11 videos I posted on that thumb drive to the prosecutor as evidence. They used 3. Several had his face in it. Had they used even one of those with his face, then they would have been able to move over laterally and say that voice matches the voice with the face. Now, the prosecutor made no bones about it. He knew the guy was lying when he said it wasn't him, but he couldn't prove it because they only use videos, the NBI does, with facial showing the face. But there were 11 videos total, 8 more besides the 3 that we used, and then the prosecutor gave us another chance to add the other videos to the claim or to the charges. And we added one with a face in it. Absolutely, the prosecutor was 100% sure it was his voice, but he had a good lawyer. He did pay top dollar for a lawyer, and the lawyer found the clause that the only videos you can submit for evidence in a trial or a case are the original videos, or the original 3 videos, and you can't add anything to that. Now, if we had added one with his face in it in the beginning, he would be in jail. But we couldn't add to it. But there was no doubt in anybody's mind it was his face, his channel, his links, his uploads, but they couldn't use it. So this is what he says made him not guilty. And theoretically, he was not guilty, used based on the evidence that we produced the first time. But this is the kind of thing, this is the kind of lies that the red-headed fairy tale story maker does. Now, the thing, the thing that's so funny is this little clown, the little fella, talking about cold cocking me, coming to my house and demanding money. That conversation would last, I don't know, being that he presented it in a video format, I would know where it was going. And if I would have walked outside and he would have started running crap about, I demand money from you or I'm going to, conversation over. I would have ended that in seconds. And, you know, he says in the video that you're about to listen to, he says, Fazio, would never face me. Would never face. Fazio would have to get a set of Depends, a diaper. He'd have to get some diapers. So to that I respond, what about in front of the prosecutor, the secretary, your Jimmy's wife, your girlfriend that you call your girlfriend, but it was really Jimmy's wife. What about what I said to you in front of the prosecutor, and you backed down like a little girl in the chair? You just crawled up into the chair and you said, "You see, sir? You see how he gets?" What about that? When you would say that I would never have what it takes to face you. What about the offer that I made you? Do you remember the offer that I made you? I think you do. I offered to go outside and settle this matter, being that you're such a tough guy, and how many times you've threatened me on live streams and videos. I offered to go outside and settle it like a man, and you backed down like a little girl. So don't ever pretend to be a tough guy, because you're not a tough guy. Even going one step further, I offered you $10,000 to get in the ring with me, tough guy. I offered you $10,000 to get in the ring with me. Now you have to put up $10,000 too. 2 reasons you didn't do that. 1, you didn't have $10,000 at the time. And 2, there's no chance that you would ever come out the victor in a boxing ring, legitimate, with a ring announcer and a cut doctor and an ambulance standing by in case somebody got hurt. There's no way that would happen, because you're just not tough enough. You just don't understand that your mouth was writing checks your body can't keep. So that was one of the funniest parts of the video, where he's telling me I would have to get a set of Depends. Apparently this guy has never gotten into a ring or a circle or whatever, and somebody said go, and you go. Apparently that's just never happened with him. He doesn't understand anything can happen after the bell rings. Anything. It doesn't matter who you are, how tough you are. I mean, he could even beat me. In theory, it's possible. But he would never do that, because all he is a big mouth. So I'm going to start to put this video up on the screen. I'm going to read the comments from my page first, and then I'm going to go through the video where, that part of the video where he says he's going to cold cock me. I mean, to me, I don't see it as a possibility. Okay, I'm not saying I can't be knocked out. I've been knocked out quite a few times, but not from not from him. I don't see that. In my mind's eye doesn't have. I mean, maybe if I did something hallucinogenics or something like that, and somebody tried to brainwash it into my head, maybe I'd be able to. That possibility could go inside my thought process, but outside of being brainwashed, I don't think he could do that. I just don't think he could do that. He knows he can't, but I don't think he can. Now, no one knows for sure, but offering him $10,000 to get into a boxing ring on multiple occasions, and the offer still stands. Why won't he do it? That's the question. Why does he avoid that? He avoids it with answers like, well, I'm not going to fight an invalid. I'm not going to fight a fat guy. I'm not going to fight a guy that's out of shape. I'm not going to fight somebody that's obese. Well, you keep saying you could beat me up. Why are you saying you could beat me up if you won't fight me? What, you want it to be a street fight? You want it to be an unfettered street fight? How do you think that would work out for you? How do you think that would work out for you with no referee? That wouldn't work out good for you at all. Not in my mind. And you know damn well that'll never happen with you either. So what is it that you want? What, do you want to just say that you could beat me up and I what? What? I give up? In an imaginary fight on YouTube? I'm not going to give up. Dude, I'm not like that. You on the other hand, who knows what you would do? It would probably take me longer to chase you around the ring than it would be to knock you out once I caught up with you. Dude, you're not a tough guy, dude. You're just not a tough guy. You've proven it 1,000 different ways. You're just... So, in this video also, moving on to the next thing, he talks about how for 6 months, actually it was 7 months, but I think he says 6 months, I said, have a nice day, umping Permy from Michael Fazio and Daisy May in the Philippines, baby. Now, from August 20th of 2019 onward, Daisy and I were broke up. There was no miscommunication about that. Daisy went her way. I went my way. We both went through our little mourning period, however long that lasted for her. I don't know. We never, ever, ever stopped communicating with each other for probably going on, certainly for 7 months, even though we did not want to get back with each other. There was no begging or anything like that, come back, or none of that crap. When you're done with somebody, hey, Jack, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. When you're done with a relationship and you realize the relationship is over, men, they just move on. Of course, there's a little bit of angst and pain and a little bit of I should have did, shoulda, woulda, coulda. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, Daisy and I, on August 20th, I put her on a plane, wished her best of luck. And why did I keep in touch with her until February? Because, and why did I end my shows with This Is Michael Fazio and Daisy May at the end of my show? Because I made a promise to Daisy. I kept my promise. When she left, now I'll go through this again. Hey, Flying Circus, no crying in a closet. This guy doesn't do anything but, hey, did you see? He doesn't do anything but cry. So let me tell you what I did. When on August 10th, Daisy said she's leaving. At that point, I kind of knew she was going to leave, and I was kind of ready for her to leave, but I didn't want to have bad feelings about that. You know, I'm not that type of guy. Any girl I ever broke up with, pretty much I could keep in touch with for as long as I wanted to. I never left a girl in such hardship that she wouldn't talk to me after we broke up. So, on August 10th, Daisy said, I'm leaving. She had her bags packed. She was standing right over there by the refrigerator with 2 bags packed. I came inside. She goes, I'm leaving. So I said, Daisy, wait a minute. First of all, you have boxes of stuff here. You have 2 bags packed. Where are you going to go? I'm going to get on a plane and I'm leaving. first of all, you can't do it like this. You're not leaving. You're gonna wait until we're gonna go to Alona Beach tomorrow. We're going to the travel agency. We're gonna get you a plane ticket. That's 10 days in advance, so the plane ticket is 1/3 the price. We're going to pack up the stuff that you want to take with you. We're going to put the rest of the stuff in boxes, and we're going to store it until you're ready for it, and I'll ship it to wherever you are. You're not leaving today. And I said, Daisy, I assure you, I will buy you a ticket tomorrow, 100%. And we will go to Alona Beach, get an airline ticket, and you will go home. But also, I'm going to give you, I'm not going to tell you how much I gave her, but it was more than enough for startup money wherever she was going. I'm going to give you this amount of money in cash. I'm going to buy your airline ticket, pay for your luggage, whatever luggage you want to pay for on the plane. And then each month that I earn YouTube money until January, this way it gets it through the holidays, I will give you about 30% of the money that I earn after taxes, after YouTube takes their cut. About 30%. Because her videos were still active and my channel was still had AdSense on it. So I made that agreement with her. And then I kept that agreement with her. So when I said, this is Michael Fazio and Daisy May, it's because she was still earning money from Super Chat, Super Stickers, and AdSense, and she was going to get that money until her birthday, which was January 5th. Okay, so, and then it went on for 2 more months. I have no problem with that. I was earning money because of Daisy May. So this red-headed fairy tale maker twisted this all up into something it was not. I never believed that I was still with Daisy May. My friends knew Daisy May's gone. My friends knew that she wasn't coming back. My friends knew, nor did I want her to come back, and my friends were okay with me talking whatever I said. Oh my God, who do we have here? We have the Jack Thompson. The Jack Thompson. Thank you, Jack. I'll bang a pot in a minute. The pot is full of tools. So, actually, no. Super Chat pot. Let's get the pot. Let's get the pot. Got gloves in the pot. I set the pot. I set everything up this morning to go outside, and it started raining hard too. Let me tell you, it wasn't. I got a nice hammer here, a nice 32-ounce S-wing hammer. This is a man's hammer. So that's what happened. Now this little fella, the red-headed fairy tale maker, he lies about everything. He lied saying that I believed that Daisy was still with me. I was delusional. There was no delusion about it. Daisy's gone. She's not coming back. She doesn't want to come back, and I don't want her to come back. But I'm not gonna hurt her feelings. Now, since we decided to break up, and even before, there's no soundbite ever of me talking negative about Daisy May. It ain't never going to be one. She doesn't, first of all, she doesn't deserve it. I've said that before. Second of all, she can't defend herself. Third of all, she's a simple Filipina. What benefit would I get by demeaning a simple Filipina? I could do that with every Filipina blogger in the Philippines. I could demean them all for one reason or another. For lack of content, for lack of their ability to share actual experiences of the Philippines, for the lack of their blogging skills. I could do that to everybody in the Philippines vlogging genre, but I don't do it. It won't benefit me. Like, you have people that come on YouTube every single day and do blah, blah, blah. Nothing. Their talk shows, none doesn't change a damn thing. Do they go out and show you anything from their community? No. Do they go out and interact with people in businesses in their community? No. Do they go out and show you how things are built? No. They don't do any of that stuff. They talk. Most of the people on the bloggers, they don't show you anything. Go look at my video list. Go to my page. I have 11,000 videos on YouTube. Construction, swimming, scuba diving, walking the street walking tours, restaurants, underwater videos, diving videos, deep diving, wreck videos. These people just go on and do blah, blah, blah. They're a bunch of simple Filipinos. Could I abuse them for that? Sure, I could. I could abuse them for anything, any number of things. But they just lack the skills to do any more than what they're doing, so I let it go. But I will never badmouth Daisy May. She doesn't deserve that. But this guy has to come on and abuse everybody's girlfriend and wife. Now, for that alone, when he would be standing in front of my house and telling me that he demands money from me, let me tell you how long that conversation would last. Not seconds, not like multiple seconds. It would last, I don't know, less than 2 seconds. As soon as he started running his mouth, that would be the end of the conversation. And if he thinks that it could last longer than that, get in the ring with me, put up $10,000, and let's find out. Tough guy. So let's say thank you to Jack Thompson, and also let's congratulate Jack Thompson. Now, I can't confirm this, but Jack has stopped smoking. I think it's 10 days now. That's a good thing, Jack. Now, there's a video, if you did, you know what I should have did? I should have posted it to your channel yesterday. What happens when you stop smoking? It's a great video. In fact, I'm going to find it right now. Thank you very much, Jack Thompson. Now, Jack also stopped drinking. I'm not sure about that, though. But he did say stop smoking. I believe that part. But drinking, you got to remember, Jack is Irish. It's very hard for an Irishman to stop drinking. Although he declares himself as a Scottish ancestry. Gotta tell you, I think somebody of the Irish clan slipped it in somewhere in his lineage. Salamat, Mr. Irish Scottish man who stopped drinking and smoking 10 days ago. Salamat. Yeah, baby. So if Jack did stop drinking and smoking, that's a great thing. So the name of that video, this is a fantastic video. It says, what happens when you stop smoking? This is for Jack Thompson. I'm going to digress. I'm going lateral for a minute. It's not funny, Jack, when you have Irish ancestry slipped in, and no one knows about it. That's not funny. But, I mean, to you it's funny because you have to make it funny, because otherwise you'd have to cry about that shit. I mean, that's just the way it is. But anyway, all in jest here. What happens when you stop smoking? Let me try. Within a few minutes, your blood, 14 days. Congratulations, Jack. Real serious. I'm going to find that video. Within a few minutes, after 20 minutes, there's a change in your body's chemistry. Your blood vessels open up where more oxygen is going to the heart and to the brain with 20 minutes after your cigarette. So when you have a cigarette, it constricts the blood. That's why when people have a cigarette after they have a big meal, they get tired. It constricts the amount of oxygen to your brain. So within 20 minutes, one thing happens. Within an hour, something else happens. Within 10 hours, something else happens. Within a day, something more benefits happen. Within 48 hours, more things happen, all beneficial. And within a year, your chances of getting lung cancer are decreased about 50%. Within 5 years, your chances of getting lung cancer are about the same as somebody that never smoked. It was a great video. You really should watch it. If you do, now it's in 2 weeks from today, it'll be a year since I had a cigarette. I haven't had a cigarette in a year. But moving on, thank you, Jack. Okay, so let me read the comments. Yeah. That's right. He's always talking about significant others being off limits, and this is what he did in this video I'm about to show you, because I'm not in any hurry because it's still raining outside. Social distance. My concern is now that he is off YouTube, that everyone will go easy on him. I think everyone needs to double down. Oh, yeah. Because that's what he would do. That's what he would do. I'm going to give him a little bit of his own medicine. United States. Why do expats go to a country that is not theirs? You spelt theirs wrong, but that's okay. And start trouble. Why? I want to understand. Can't anyone tell me? Well, I don't know. I have no idea. I try not to. I try not to start trouble, but I don't mind rebuttaling something. Rebuttaling is a word. Not really, but we'll use it because the idiot uses it. So anyway, so in the video, he abuses Daisy May. He talks about Daisy May doing the horizontal mambo with her new partner. He does have some points that are truthful, and we'll get to those. But he has to always put a caveat when he says something truthful. So he is such a weird person. Not weird. I knew it. Not weird. He's not weird. He's strange. There's a difference between weird and strange. Do you know that the definition? I used the word weird. I should be slapped. I should be backhanded slapped into submission for using the word weird and describing the red-headed fairy tale maker. Weird means the third definition in the Webster's 20th Unabridged Dictionary, and also the encyclopedia, but I'm not sure what number it is. Weird means spiritual and or godlike in nature. Strange is a better word. Strange is not a good way to describe somebody. And that's the little fella. He's a very strange little man. He can't live without demeaning somebody or something or some relationship or some marriage. He can't do it. This is, there are psychoses that go on inside his head that are never ending. It's like throwing a Super Ball into a steel cage, how it's just going to keep bouncing back and forth, up and down. He has no direction in life. He never did. His only savior is that he has a steady income from his retirement. And if he didn't have that, he's unemployable. No one would ever employ him. He's unemployable. He's not capable of running a business. He's never run a business. He's never signed the front of a check, only the back of a check, and he even walks up to get the check backwards. He won't face his employer. He's never did. According to his friends of 30 plus years, he had to work alone in the job description that he had, because no one would work with him. because he's not compatible with anybody or anything. He has no friends. He never did. His only friend, the guy who lent him $8,000 to buy his house, he went on a 40-minute rant about how the guy was gay and how he was a coke addict and how he almost killed people by putting too many chemicals in the pool, and how the guy was gay for him and how his brother thought the guy was gay for him, and which is another major fallacy inside the little fella, aka the redheaded fairy tale maker's life, is that he believes everybody is gay in the proper use of the word gay, and he believes most of the people are gay for him, and that's why there are so many shows that put him down, because those people like Dave and Roberto, they can't have him sexually. So he makes up this story that the people that can't have him sexually, that's why they make negative videos about him. But everybody makes negative videos about him. And as far as the person saying that people should not go easy on him now, this is when everybody needs to come together and tell the truth about the man. The truth is that 2 of his YouTube channels got taken down for hate this week. His entire Facebook page was wiped off the face of the map for threatening and lying about various people in the Facebook community. He's had several other channels taken down for hate speech. We're not talking about strikes for copyright strikes. We're talking about hate speech. This guy goes right out. Now, I know of a video that he should have had his channel taken down for, just the one video where he threatened to cut off Barry Jordan's family jewels with a carpet knife. That's a death threat. That's what he did to Barry Jordan. And he said, and also the other guy, which was me, that should happen to me as well. He didn't say my name, though. He stopped short of saying my name because Barry can't go to the NBI and file charges against him. I can. So he didn't say my name. He's not completely stupid, but he is stupid for saying it. I know who he's talking about. Then he threatened to give Barry Jordan a housewarming gift in the form of a bottle filled with gasoline. He threatened that. He goes, maybe somebody should go over and give him a housewarming gift. And then said that what the bottle filled with gasoline is called. That's a death threat. Not only that, it's a threat to the Filipino person that owns the house that was going to rent to Barry. And not only that, it might stop Barry from renting the house from those people because they don't want trouble in their house. He can't stop. I've said this for the years that I've been communicating with him. He can't stop. He doesn't have the ability to stop. There's a psychosis that goes on inside his head. Without his rants and hate speech, his life doesn't exist. And the person who suffers most is him, his supposed girlfriend, which is really Jimmy's wife. That's the second one that suffers the most. But those people are in the Philippines. Who is actually literally suffering most at this exact moment? Everybody knows this. It's Rowdy, the dog. The dog's ass muzzle is completely frayed. It's no longer protecting the dog. The dog is the one that is suffering the most from this whole ordeal. The dog has an ass muzzle that is just frayed. It's just a bunch of scrapped leather at this point. Poor Rowdy. The dog is the one that suffers more than anybody else right now. The dog is walking around bow-legged times 4. Poor Rowdy. I gotta feel sorry for the dog. And I don't. Anyway, so let's go to the video. Wait, I see more super chat. Quit smoking and drinking more, says Jack Thompson. Okay, the drinking is way better than the smoking. I didn't find that video. Let me find that video for you. Oh, I see messages. I have a. I'm not going to tell you, but anyway, let's go here. I have messages coming in as private messaging. Okay, so do I mean in terms? Okay, so maybe somebody out there. Well, I'm not even going to ask that question. Yeah, you're right about that. That would have probably caused the problem a long time ago. All right, well, thanks for the answer. Okay. See, this guy thought he was invincible because he knows he don't put his face in the videos. But we can't get a clear answer from YouTube, and we can't get a clear answer from other bloggers as to a particular situation. So I'm going to not put certain things in the video that I was going to put in the video. But I'm not going to put those things in the video now. Oh, what happened? Why did that happen? History, 27 tabs were closed. Google is working on the. Google is working on. My internet provider is working on the internet, so it went down and my tabs were closed. Okay, so what happens? What happens? What happens when you quit smoking? This is a great video, and it's only, I think it's 3 minutes long. 3.5 minutes long. Health benefits. Okay, what happens when you quit smoking? Should have been in a YouTube video format, but it wasn't. Let's search it like that. This is for Jack Thompson. When you watch this video, here it is right here. Okay. Here it is right here, Jack. What happens, Jimmy's wife? What happens when you quit smoking? This video is just fantastic. You know, I think everybody should listen to this video. This is a 3.5 minute video that if you listen to this and you don't stop smoking, well, then there's something mentally wrong with you. That there is something mentally wrong with you if you listen to what happens when you quit smoking, based on if this is true or not. So let me I'm going to copy that, and then I'm going to go to my channel, and then I'm going to post that link. This is a fantastic video about what happens when you quit smoking. This isn't even a joke, because I noticed an unbelievable amount of things that happened when I quit smoking. Number one, shortness of breath when I was walking up and down mountains between BQ Mall and the ICM Mall went away. Now, did I get tired? Did I get hot? I got hot. Did I get tired? You feel it, but you're not, because when I walk at a fast pace. So the shortness of breath went away. The fatigue in the muscles of your legs, well, that's not going to go away, but the shortness of breath did stop. So let me get over to my channel here. Now, also, I noticed when I do some heavy lifting or activity, I don't get shortness of breath. But all of the things in the video are true. And I noticed all of them because it's a year now. It's in 2 weeks it'll be a year since I had to say, oh, Jimmy's wife from Jack Thompson. Oh my God, we got to bang a pot. So let me get this. Let me get this link in here 3 times with the name of the video. This is an important video for anybody that's smoking and you want to stop smoking. It kind of synapses everything all at once. So the synapses. And then we're going straight into Roberto's video in a minute, as soon as I'm done banging this pot. So we have Jack Thompson. He quit smoking, but he drinks more. Oh, that's enough. And the little fella gets upset that I bang a pot. He gets upset that I what? He's always telling people to mind his own business. What does he care if I bang a pot? Oh, hey, little fella, we're all laughing at you, baby. This is a laugh directed at the little fella, a.k.a. the red-headed fairy tale story maker. The red-headed fairy storyteller maker. Storytells tells... The red-headed fairy story teller. The red-headed fairy storyteller. That's what it is. Hey, red-headed fairy storyteller. How does it feel to not have a channel? Hey, and even more importantly, how does it feel to have your channel taken down and having Barry Jordan claim to be the one that took your channel down after all your death threats and bravado towards Barry Jordan, and he's the one, if that's true, to take your channel down? How do you feel about that? We don't know how you feel about it. We know damn well Rowdy needs a new ass muscle. That's for sure. I mean, Rowdy is the one. I feel so sorry for Rowdy. We are the champions. I feel so sorry for poor Rowdy. I saw Rowdy walking down the block in a video you made a few weeks ago. Rowdy is just... He looks like he's been riding a horse. He's bow-legged on all 4 legs. How you did that to the poor dog, I don't know. What are you... I don't know. Poor Rowdy, that's all I have to say. We are the champions of the world. That's right. So... let's go to Andrew. It's inhumane not taken care of. Oh, no, Rowdy's being taken care of. He's being taken care of. But just not the way Rowdy wants to be taken care of. You know, Rowdy would much rather be pitching than hitting, than catching. And I think Rowdy is catching, not pitching. I don't know. But I don't know that for a fact either, because... there's some strange stuff that goes on in that world with animals. Oh my God, there's... Anyway, how does it feel for Barry to be the one to claim to take you off of YouTube after all you said about Barry Jordan? Now, I just get a kick out of this because the person who you despised most, who you threatened, you literally threatened Barry Jordan's life, dude. When you said you're going to cut off his family jewels with a carpet knife, that is and that video is going to the FBI. I'm putting together 5 videos. I was going to put together 3. And I'm putting together 5 videos. And I'm going to make like a 2-page document and include the NBI case file. And tell them what I think about the Mushroom Man video, and then we'll see what they think about it. Because the first set of stuff that I sent out, I don't think it was really detailed enough, but I'm going to send a much more detailed product out to them. Dude, you can't go around threatening people's lives and expect to get away with it, and then say a few days later or a few hours later, well, you know, I said something off color, or I apologize for something I said. Go ahead and try to apologize for talking to that 8-year-old boy about my penis. Go ahead and try to do it. No one's going to accept it. It should have never happened. There are certain things that you can't go back on. And you saying it was just an innocent song about a mushroom, dude, you're screwed. I promise you, I'm going to do everything in my power to make that come to the light of day. So anyway, let's go to Roberto's video now. Let's see. We'll start right at the beginning of this video. Right at the. I think I want to get rid of this tab here. I have 27 tabs open. I don't need that many tabs open. Okay. Here it is, right here. Nope. We have a video that I just. Oh no, we won't talk about that. We won't talk about that. Oh man, I have it in my file. I have 1,400 videos of this crap from this guy. I could do 1,400 red-headed fairy tale story maker videos from just what I have in my repertoire of in one drive. Okay, that's not it. Where is that? Video details. Video details. Video details. When I change channels, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. So let's let me preface this with, this is the kind of negative video that he posts on a daily basis. However, this video, what the hell was that? This video that he posted talking about the Cuckoo Bar and Grill is the one where there's a trial coming up, supposedly in November. November's almost over, so it better happen soon. And that there's a guy that's going on trial for posting stuff on his Facebook page, that the red-headed fairy tale maker pressed charges against the guy, and in conjunction with cybercrime. So together, they felt charges should be warranted. So, and it's about videos that Warren H. did send to all the local restaurants. That's what Warren told me. So that part of what he said is true. But listen to this. Listen to this. I have to expand the page so you can't see the link for this. So let's expand.
It's nice to go at the end of the day to have dinner.
Okay, so we're starting the video at the 15-minute and 6-second mark. The name of the video is Review Cuckoo Bar and Grill. Review Cuckoo Bar and Grill. Now, you're going to have to listen to this for 30 seconds, and then you get an idea. None of it's true. None of it could be proven. There's no video to back it up. And yet, this is what he said about a local eatery. So here we go. 30 seconds, and you'll understand. And then I'm going to rewind it for 20 seconds several times. Ready? Here we go. Listen carefully.
When it cools out, the town lights up at night. You know, you watch the people go by. It has this really nice kind of wood and bamboo kind of a decor. Tropical, very nice to have a pretty decent restroom. With a real toilet, I guess. I never used it, I've seen the door open. I have experienced their rooms there. I didn't like them because when I first started visiting, I stayed 2 times, I believe, at that hotel. And the rooms were less than desirable. They had those big-ass cockroaches you see every now and then. You know, B-52s, you know, that cast a big shadow when they fly by, that, you know, like a plane going over your head. You know, we had that in the room, so that wasn't a pleasant experience. However, a few of their...
Did you hear what he just said? Now, if I had a review like that on a hotel where I lived in my community, I would not post it. Now, if I had a review like that in a hotel that it was truthful and it was outside of my community, I might post it. But this guy posted this review of a restaurant and hotel where he lives, and then posted it everywhere as a public video, and then people shared it to all the restaurants in the area, all around where he lives, and then he was literally banned from going in everybody's eatery, restaurant, or beachfront bars. Now listen to this again. I'm going to go back 5 steps, 25 seconds. Listen to his review and understand this is a local restaurant that he knows the owner of for 5 years. Okay, we're back 25 seconds, and here we go.
I stayed 2 times, I believe, at that hotel, and the rooms were less than desirable. They had those big-ass cockroaches you see every now and then, you know, B-52s, you know, that cast a big shadow when they fly by, that, you know, like a plane going over your head. You know, we had that in the room, so that wasn't a pleasant experience.
Okay, so he did not care that he absolutely destroyed a local purveyor of food and hotel restaurateur. He did not care about that, but nobody can say anything bad about him. But he can go out and destroy people's livelihoods and businesses. So he did it, but somebody else passed the information on, and he got mad because they passed his videos on to the restaurateur. So in other words, Warren H. took this video, posted it to every restaurant in Bantayan Island. That's a fact. And then he got mad because Warren H. posted the video to every restaurant in Bantayan and on Facebook, but he was the one who made the video. Now, eventually his face is in this video, but Roberto cut that out, and I have the original where his face flashes on the screen for momentarily, but that's all it has to be there. So it's okay for him to destroy a person's business, restaurant, hotel business, and bar business, because he goes on for another 20 minutes about that in that video, because even though this video is only 11 minutes long, the originals are a half hour long. So let's go to the beginning of this video where he's going to COLDCOCKFAZIO if I don't give him money, so that you'll know I won't be lying about this. And this is the video, for those of you who aren't here, this is the video I brought to the NBI with Daisy May, and we filed charges because we thought he was going to come to my house and demand money from me. And if he didn't get the money and he didn't like what I said, he was going to cold cock me. And that's in the soundbite that I'm going to give you right now. It's not something I added to or subtracted something from. It's what he said. And I reported him to save his hide. Because if he came here and I was here, that would be more problematic than he could comprehend. And if he came here when I wasn't here and harassed Daisy May, who knows what would happen to her? Who knows who he was sending? He was talking at the time, her family are a bunch of psychos, and he's a psycho, and he will do things that he never thought he was going to be able to do before. So I said, well, let's nip this in the bud, or at least let me go to the NBI, file these charges, and then if he comes, at least I warned the NBI that he was coming, and if there was a problem, I'm in the right to defend myself. Of course, I would be in the right to defend myself. What I would do, I don't know, but I would defend. I would defend. I can't tell you what I would do. I don't know what I would do. It depends. It all depends. It all depends. Let's go to the beginning. I have a good idea what I would do, but you know, so the best laid plans of mice and men. Let's go to the beginning. Okay, the beginning is, and we have the link out of here. Let's play it. Let's start the video. Okay, there's his face, where I said his face was in the video.
This is the Frank Battaglia is getting ready to do a review of the Cuckoo Bar, and there's his face hidden in the background, as like he enjoys so much hiding his face during these reviews and hate speeches that he does so often, sometimes 3 to 10 times a day. And let's start the video. And there is his face. Now,
okay, so and you see it's the same name of the video, and then later on it goes to the it goes to the part where he talks about the B-52s in the restaurant. So that was one video I wanted to just show you. The second video I wanted to show you, oh darn, okay, I have to go to my channel content. Okay, I'm gonna have to go. Being that I switched channels, my channel content from one of my hoodwink shut itself down. So I have to open that up again. Sorry about that, because you're only allowed to have one channel open with the information for your videos, one channel or the other. So I'm going back to my hoodwink channel, and then hold on a minute. I'm going to put down cool. Okay, bar, B-A-R. I'll just put down bar, and we'll find the video. Okay, grill. Bar and grill. No, it's not that. Oh boy. I know how to find it. I got to go to a different channel. It's on a different channel, and I can't show you that channel. So it's not on the hoodwink channel. Let's post. There's 109 videos on this secondary channel. I won't show you the link. I'm looking for it. One of my favorites, but I'm not going to show it to you, is... Didn't I tell you to get off my channel? I did. I know I did. You have been trolling my channel for years. I don't understand why you do it, so let's get rid of you. You're out of here, man. I told you to stay off my channel. Thank you very much. I don't want comments from you on my channel. I don't want your name on my channel, nor do I want you on my channel. And I can't remove you from here. Somebody remove him from my channel, please. This guy Hulk has been harassing me for years. He just doesn't get it. And I probably blocked him a dozen times. He just makes a new channel, Hulk. Out of here, man. Cuckoo Bar and Grill. Okay, it's on a backup channel that I have. I'm not going to thank you. I'm going to play the video, but I'm not going to show it to you because this one has his full face on there. So let me open up the video so I can see the timestamp.
Really nice to go at the end of the day to have dinner with a...
This the Frank Battaglia, or is...
What happened to that part of the video? Okay. Can't do it like that. That's a different video. It's incorporated into this video. I want the separate video. Cold. C-O-L-D. Okay. Let's show all 8 videos. Oh, man. This is really hard to do. Okay. Okay, let's do it like this. No videos. Okay. Bahal. B-O-H-O-L. I have 11,000 videos. It's hard for me to go through them all. Okay, I'm going to have to do this the hard way. going to have to go back into 2019. I had this all up on the screen already, and when my internet provider refreshed the modem, apparently, I lost the secondary tabs that I had up. The whole lockdown, Big E, Pinoy, Honey and Cold, Candy, Warren Hunt's New Home. Okay, we're still in 2020. Frank Dox's Daisy. Calls me to Behold Walrus. How to file a case against him through the NBI. Print shops. Pirate, Behold Pizza. This is really hard. I'm doing this for you guys to show you what a strange individual he is. And he is strange. In every definition of the word, strange. Okay. Maybe it's on a 4th channel that I have. I forget. I'm not real smart when it comes to remembering what channel things are on. Huh. It's not here. It's not on this channel either. Okay, I gotta go back to another channel. These are channels that I only use to post. These are separate. They have nothing to do with my main or my backup channel. Roberto. R-O-B-E-R-T. Oh, let's try that. Nope, not that. Wow. Where the heck could this be? Maybe, you know what? Hold on a minute. This is crazy. Let me go to my channel. Let's start it. And let's go. This gotta be on this channel.
Secrets of the dollar bill. Secret number 1.
Went to the previous channel. Okay, let's go there. Let's go to that one. I don't know what the heck is going on with here, but Cold. C-O-L-D C-O-C-K. Cold Talk. Cold, no videos. Oh, this is terrible. I feel terrible about this. Could it be on that other one? I don't keep good track of this stuff. I have a file and a drive with all of this stuff on the drive. Let's try with switch another one. How many channels do I have? I have 5. One is simply for one specific thing and nothing else. Okay, let's try it there. C-O-L-D C-O-C-K, Cold Cock, 0 videos. Okay, you know what I could do? I could do it like this. I could do history. The history. Let's see if we could go through the history. What happens when you quit smoking? More proof. More proof I don't harass people. I think this is the video. Yep, this is it. More proof.
Since I'm going to be right, basically this.
Here it is. Yeah, I went through the history. So let me open this up so you can't see the channel link or the name of the channel to this. Let's watch this. Listen to this guy. Listen to how tough he is on YouTube. And remember, I offered him $10,000 to get into a boxing ring.
Since I'm going to be right basically in his practically his own backyard, if he wants to meet up with me and talk to me and tell me some of these things to my face.
And I do want to meet you face to face in my backyard. And I do, and I said it at the time, come. After I filed charges with the NBI, I said, you're welcome to come. Come. Don't worry about it. But he moved over to where his family is a bunch of people in Bohol and Cebu, and he's going to send his family, and we don't know. I don't care about your family, dude. I do want you to come. Come, tough guy.
No, I should go talk to him face to face. I don't give a shit. He will never have the guts to walk up to me in person. Never, ever, never.
And yet, when we were in the prosecutor's office, I offered for you to go outside in the park and settle this mano a mano, and I embarrassed you in front of 30 plus people at the top of my lungs to try to get you to make a move. And all you did was curl up into a little ball like a little girl and go, you see, sir? You see how he gets? He gets very violent. He does that on YouTube too because you're a coward, dude. All the years that you threatened me, all the years you said you were coming, all the years that you said you were going to do this, that, and the other thing. You know, I would bet big money that the prosecutor, the secretary for the prosecutor, the NBI agent, would have walked outside with us to watch the results of me and you going into the park. Park is right across the street from the building where the prosecutor was interviewing us. I would bet big money they'd come outside to watch two foreigners fight. I offered you a fair fight in an open forum outside. Come outside, run your mouth all the time, because the prosecutor had the videos and the timestamps where you threatened me. They knew you threatened me. There was no doubt about it. That was why you were in the prosecutor's office. You were in the prosecutor's office because you did threaten to come to my house and knock me out if you didn't get the answers you wanted. The prosecutor was all in on me and you going outside into the park. He wouldn't say that. But he wasn't about to stop me from asking you to go outside. And he was just sitting there like this, waiting for your reaction. And your reaction was you curled up like a little girl. And he goes, you see, sir, that's how he gets. He does that on YouTube too. Dude, you threatened my life. You threatened to come to my house. You threatened my girlfriend's very existence and well-being. Jack Thompson, roll that beautiful bean footage. It's one of the 3 or 4 videos in my whole life that would define something that I wish that I could have a video come out of my memory bank. Or I wish that it was recorded in the prosecutor's office and I could get a copy of it. There's only just 3 or 4 videos, 5 things maybe that I wish I had a video of from that I didn't. You know, something memorable moment. That one would define, that would be the one for the Philippines. You are a coward, dude. You threatened my life. You threatened to send your family. You threatened to send Jimmy's wife's family after me. You said they're sick. You don't know what they're going to do. I don't care what they're going to do, dude. You and me. But you have to get somebody else involved every time. You have to get a third party involved every time because you don't have the balls my mother was born with. Hey, Scott, talking about men, and one shows up. One is already here. Jack and Scott are real men. Those guys wouldn't be afraid of you either. Nobody's really afraid of you, but there are certain people that would just laugh at you coming to face them. And Scott and Jack would be 2 of those people. So you had the balls to say, yeah, you're going to send people, you're coming, I'm going to go to his house today, and I'm going to demand money, and if I don't like the answers he gives me, I'm going to cold cock him, and that part of the video is coming up right now. Hey, Scott from Jack Thompson. What? Listen to how this ass clown goes on to threaten my life. You think he's going to come here and this isn't a life-threatening situation where he's going to come and cold cock me? Where would it stop? Would it stop if he knocked me out? What would happen? What would happen next? Those questions need to be answered, because when you go to somebody's house with the intention of knocking them out, there might not be a stopgap at some point. Maybe you just lose your mind, everything turns into a blank, and you go further than you expected. Maybe you get your ass kicked proper. You don't know what's going to happen, but to threaten me to come to my house to cold cock me, and then later on to threaten that your family's going to come here, and I don't care about your family. I never cared about your worthless family. And I'm never going to care about your worthless family coming here to do shit to me. I don't look over my shoulder. I don't sit here and watch out the window for strange faces, because I don't give a shit about you and your tough guy bravado. Because here's what the bottom line is. If it doesn't work out, somebody is going to pay the piper. Figure it out on your own, asshole. Here we go. Let's finish this part of the video.
But if he said to my face something off color, if you know what I mean, I'd cold cock him faster than shit. Believe me, I would. I'll go to fucking jail. If it means...
No, you won't go to jail. Where you would be going is an intensive care ward, you coward bastard. That's where you would be going. And then you would be going to jail, in that order.
Having my little moment with him after all the shit that he said to me, all he has to do is look at my eyes if I see him. Look at my eyes and believe me, he'll be pissing in his pants. That's all I have to do is look at my eyes. He'll have to get out another one of his Depends. Because my eyes tell a story. And if he sees my eyes when I see him, he'll be running away. I'll tell you that. No, I don't like the guy. I'll be honest, I don't like the guy at all. He's a scammer. He's been scamming people for years. He did this in Florida. He did this in New York. That's what
I will wager any single person in this entire world, any one of you YouTube frauds, scammers, backstabbing little cowards, I will wager you any amount of money that there is never, ever one time, not one time, while I was in New York or Florida, have I ever been brought to any kind of building inspection jurisdiction for scamming a customer for money for a contractual agreement I made with them. There has never been a case filed against me for taking a deposit without doing the job on time. There has never been any filing against me in any way, shape, or form. Never, ever in the history of New York or Florida in 38 years has anybody ever went to the Better Business Bureau and said, I defrauded them for a deposit, or didn't finish a job properly, or didn't finish the job in a professional manner. Never. And yet this piece of shit goes on YouTube and says that I am a scammer. Then there should be proof of that, right? Then he goes on to say that I defrauded the insurance company. And then I took the money and ran off to the Philippines. That's a lie, too. I will bet you $10,000 that can't be proven. I'll bet you $10,000. I will bet you another $10,000 on top of the original $10,000 that I didn't defraud the insurance company. And I will bet you another $10,000 on top of the first two $10,000s. Sorry, Jack. I will bet you another $10,000 on top of the first two sets of $10,000 that I don't owe the insurance, the mortgage company a dime. Nothing do I owe them. That damn cowlick. I've had that cowlick since I was in kindergarten. I'm sorry. I gotta. So that's $30,000 to anybody that wants to try to find information that I defrauded the mortgage company, which I did not. I don't owe the county any money. I don't owe the mortgage company any money. I don't owe any fines against any of the businesses I had in Key Largo, which was On Time Backhoe as a licensed excavation contractor, On Time Bobcat Services, which was a bobcat service and tree trimming service, and Custom Decks and Docks by Zolacraft, or Universal Bulkheading in America. Universal Bulkheading, Custom Decks and Docks by Zolacraft, and Decks and Docks by Zolacraft. All legal businesses, all legitimate, licensed and insured by the state of New York or whoever would insure me. I will bet you any amount of money there's not a single place in any state, New York or Florida, where I had licenses, where someone made a claim. There's not even a claim against my person or my company, not even one. And I always put my name as part of the business. So this guy's going around destroying my good name and reputation with no proof, because he's a backstabbing, slimy little strange man, otherwise known as a red-headed fairy tale storyteller. That's what he is. He's a red-headed fairy tale storyteller, fairy being the operative word in that sentence. He's a coward, and he's never going to amount to anything more than a coward. He's not going to get away with this. And now that he has been thrown off YouTube for hate speech, and now that it's raining every day, I have lots of extra time to do this. Now, I have 1,400 videos just like this. So, but some of them are an hour long and an hour and a half long, because this guy had nothing to do with his whole existence is YouTube. Can you imagine if your whole existence is YouTube and it's been taken away from him? What is he doing? I know what he's doing. He's doing Rowdy. Rowdy needs a new ass muzzle. That's what the problem is. I feel so sorry for that dog. Now, let's go... Oh, I'm over here. Let's see what else he has to say. Sorry about that.
What he's all about. He's a scammer. By proving what his... I think I should go over and visit him today. I think I really should, because he owes me fucking money. Or he needs to give me any supply of T-shirts he has. Burn them, whatever. He can't sell them. That's an image of me.
Okay, let's stop right there. So, when I filed charges against him for this video, I took a shirt to the NBI. And the NBI looked at the shirt, and I said, does this... He's claiming that this is a caricature of him. Well, first of all, let me explain the law to you about caricatures, okay? It's virtually impossible to file charges against somebody for a caricature unless they are world famous and world renowned. It's happened 3 times in America in the last 20 years. Someone made a caricature of Tiger Woods and was selling T-shirts. And Tiger Woods Industries filed charges against the guy to make him stop making T-shirts with his caricature, and the guy stopped, and they dropped the charges. Because it would cost more money. The guy had no money. He was making T-shirts. It would cost more money to prosecute the guy than they were going to get. It wasn't like a big industry that was doing it. Okay, the second person that went to court, the second person that went to court that filed charges against an unknown entity for caricature shirts and caricatures of the shirts was Elvis Presley's estate. Priscilla Presley filed charges against, and Elvis Presley Enterprises filed charges against somebody in America for making a caricature of Elvis Presley. And they made the man stop making videos, T-shirts, and then they dropped the charges. And the third person that the charges were filed against was Priscilla Presley, Tiger Woods, and there was another. I forgot the name of the third person. But they also dropped the charges after the person agreed to stop making T-shirts. So never in the history of the United States has anybody been prosecuted for a caricature, even when the people are famous. First of all, the sales would have to exceed $50,000+ for a lawyer to take the case, because there has to be money in it for the lawyer at the end of the day. And my shirt sales didn't exceed that. The second thing is, the NBI looked at the shirt, and said, well, wait a minute. Does he have vertical lips? And I said, no, he has horizontal lips. He goes, well, then the NBI, they made it clear as day. Well, then that can't be him, because the shirt has vertical lips on it. And then they asked me, does he have red hair? And I said, no, he has brown hair. Oh, okay. Well, then it's not him then. He doesn't have vertical lips, right? You sure he doesn't have vertical lips? I said, no, he doesn't. Then it's not him. That's how, and he goes, and we don't, in the Philippines, we don't prosecute people for caricatures. We don't do it at all. So we could never get a lawyer to back his worthless assumptions up. So he has to threaten me personally, which backfired on him, because then we went to court, and then somewhere there's the truth of how much money he spent to defend himself. And it ranges in a $5,000 plus or minus range from whatever it was. He's had numbers that are $3,000 up to $9,000 for court and lawyers' fees. He's never told you the truth about that. So he was the one that threatened my life by sending people to my house and coming to my house to collect money. And there were other videos where he also threatened me that went to the prosecutor, and they agreed there could be a case, but he had a high-priced lawyer that got him off on a technicality. But there was nothing he could do as far as me selling T-shirts. Nothing at all. Nothing he can do today, and nothing he could do back then. Nothing. He just can't do anything, because Philippines won't prosecute somebody for caricatures. And it's never been done in the United States successfully. It was Elvis Presley, Tiger Woods, it was another guy. I forgot the other guy's name. Anyway, let's finish listening to that part of the video. This guy is an ass clown from the get-go.
Although not an exacting image, you can obviously see it's a picture of me.
All right, ready?
Or he needs to give me any supply of T-shirts he has, burn them, whatever. He can't sell them.
Yeah, I can.
That's an image of me.
Baloney.
Although not an exacting image, you can obviously see it's a picture of me. He has no right to sell these T-shirts with my image on it or any implication. That's just a fact.
Okay, first my speech.
Okay, so there you go. This is another story that he made up, threatening that he wanted money. Everything with him is about trying to get money from somebody. Now, he made it clear as day that there's a trial coming up because of these videos that Warren sent out, and then somebody else sent out more videos, and somebody sent out videos that had dialogue added to the videos or subtracted from the videos or whatever. And he made it clear as day that this person is going to have one of three things happen to him. He's either going to get deported from the Philippines, and this is happening this month, November 2021. he's going to get deported, or he's going to go to jail, or he's going to have to pay a heavy fine of which I will benefit from and go to jail. So somehow he talked cybercrimes into offering him a plea deal for a fine. And then that this ass clown, the red-headed fairy being the operative word here, the red-headed fairy storyteller will benefit from the fine. Now, I don't know how that works. It's called extortion in America, but I don't know how it works here in the Philippines. Now, I don't know that the guy has money, and where does he have the audacity? I thought the crime was that the guy was talking smack about him. I didn't think that you could be extorted for money to drop the charges. I didn't know that you could do that. Maybe the guy, well, I won't tell the guy what to do, but this is what he does. He is adamant about the guy is either going to go to jail or pay a heavy fine at which I will benefit from. Those are his words. So basically, he's looking to get money from this deal, from this thing that the prosecutor or the cybercrimes officer is involved with. Now, we've heard for a year and a half now that the guy is going to jail or he's going to get deported. Now, and it was going to happen in November. And then a few weeks ago, he said this is definitely happening in November. So we only have 14 days left to find out the outcome to the story. Notice he hasn't talked about this story since it was supposed to be happening now. Well, of course, he didn't make a note of it where you could go follow the story. He didn't make a note of it that it was even going to happen. He just forgot to talk about this for the last 5 weeks or so. Now, is it going to happen or not? Well, only the fraud knows, for sure. Only the red-headed fairy storyteller knows. Fairy tales. Only the red-headed fairy tales storyteller knows this, whether it's going to happen or not. This guy has more subterfuge involved in his videos. It's just an amazing thing how anybody has gotten away with this crap for so long. Well, let me listen to a little bit more of this. Then he's going to go on to talk about Daisy May, and I already explained that part in the beginning of the video, but let's listen to a little more.
For a long time, the behold professor, time he tried to even call her on the phone, she never answered.
No. Okay, that's a lie. Anytime I ever called Daisy between August 23rd, when she got settled in Mindanao, in Davao City, until around November 6th, when she had finally met Eugene, her future husband, her fiancé. She answered the phone when she could. During the time that she was with Eugene, she didn't answer the phone. That's true. But what do I care? Why would I care if Daisy May answered the phone or not when she was with Eugene? The only thing I cared about was our friends and my subscribers were sending super chat and super stickers. I was earning AdSense on the videos and advertisements, and Daisy was getting 30%. How much money Daisy got after she left me was more than I gave her when she was with me. And I had no problem with that. Because in my videos, I posted that Daisy will receive a certain percentage of these monies that you donate. I have no problem helping Daisy May out. None at all. I never did. I probably never will. But that's not the point. The point is that he goes right now, he's going to go into how Daisy was doing the horizontal mambo with Eugene. How does that make me feel? Well, if she left August 20th, let's just say September 1st, September, October, and November, 90 days, Daisy is gone. I don't want her back. She doesn't want to come back. We talked as friends. Anything I could do to help her get settled in, I did. Why would I care that she's dating somebody else at that point? She's a young woman. She's entitled to date. But this ass clown had to make a big deal out of it, and this is where he starts with talking crap about, oh, she didn't answer the phone, how they're dancing cheek to cheek, they're doing the horizontal mambo. So what? So what? So what? I don't understand what the big deal is. When you break up with a woman, you can go your way, they can go their way. What is it with this guy that he can't get it through his head that when a relationship is over, you could still remain friends with somebody and not have animosity or hatred towards them? When is he going to learn? He's not going to learn because he's a strange little twisted man. He's a deranged brain. His brain is deranged in that part of his mind about normal functions of societal interactions. You become friends with people, that relationship lasts for a certain period of time. Hopefully it will end on a good note where months or years later you can say hello. Like when I go to my Facebook page and say hello to somebody that I haven't talked to in 20 years. And they say, hey, how you doing? And you tell them how you're doing, and they tell you how they're doing. And not everybody's relationship has to break up on a negative note. But for this guy, every relationship that he has is a disaster upon breakup. Everyone. He has no long-term friends at all. Now, I could recently tell you that in my community since last January, when I stopped giving free stuff out to the neighbors, they got upset because I was giving out 15 to 20,000 pesos for each holiday. And beer, not beer, rum, cigarettes, candy, sauce, spaghetti, odds and ends, clothes, shirts. And they got upset, but they're not mad at me. They still ask, and I say, no, there's no more pasalubong. And they know why. And then I've already explained to them why. Because when I ask you for a favor, you want to charge me money. So we're not really friends, but we're not enemies. This guy has to end every relationship on an enemy basis. Jack says, 2 dudes you don't want to mess with, and I'm one of them. And I know another one. Yeah, I mean, you have this propensity to start a war between everybody you break up with. Daisy and I have never, unfortunately for you to listen to this, because I know you're listening, you creepy little man. Daisy and I have never had bad words for each other. There has never been a conversation that we cursed at each other or we yelled at each other. We got upset about different things. Our viewpoints differed. It was a shame our relationship didn't work out. But there's never been a point where she wouldn't answer the phone and after we broke up, except for that one time when she was with her future fiancé. And I don't blame her. She was in a hotel with a guy for 21 days. Okay? So what? See, this is something you can't understand. This is something the creep doesn't understand. People's lives have to go on. I didn't mention that I was dating after I broke up because it's not important. It's none of your business. And then I'd have to deal with the creep making videos about that. And I got to tell you something, creep. You should thank the gods. Whoever is God, whatever is, you should thank the gods you didn't show up in front of my house demanding money. Forget about the NBI. Forget about this, that, and the other thing. Forget about Jimmy's wife's family. Forget about all that shit. It was supposed to be you coming to my house to demand money. Thank the gods you didn't come here. And also, you should thank the gods that they didn't allow you to get into the ring with me. Because you're going to get your ass kicked. You're going to be embarrassed. You'd never live it down. And that's why you want to fight me and not Barry. That's why you keep telling Barry you want to fight him. Because you know Barry can't fight you. As soon as Barry raises his hands, you're going to have the police there. They're going to be waiting in the wings. With me, it's a different story. I can go to the NBI. Barry can't. That's why you keep threatening him. The video where you threatened to cut Barry's family jewels off with the carpet knife, that's a death threat, man. That's a death threat. You tell somebody you're going to cut off the family jewels with a carpet knife and show them the knife, that's a death threat. You tell somebody you're going to cut their tongue out and show them the knife, that's a death threat. You showed Barry that you're going to cut off the jewels and cut out his tongue, that's a death threat. That's not a physical threat of violence. That's a death threat. That's attempted or potential murder on your behalf that you did that to Barry. And then you go on further to complicate it worse, then you're going to break his bones. What do you think? He's not going to retaliate or want to retaliate? And then one step further, you went again and you showed Barry's new apartment and you said, why don't we all give Barry, why doesn't somebody go and give Barry Barry's new home, where his new apartment, a housewarming present, and then you talk about bottles of gasoline. You're a piece of garbage, dude. You're a piece of garbage. That was this your whole life. Nobody likes you. You want to talk about the guy who lent you the money to buy your house? You lied about that as well. You said you had the money. You said you had the money to go and buy the house, and you put a deposit down of $8,000. You're a liar, dude. Somebody came up with that money, and you got pissed off that you even had to pay it back. You didn't pay it back with interest, but you paid it back. And you made it sound like it was your money, and then you denied that the guy lent you the money. You're a liar, dude. You lie about everything. And now you're off YouTube, or maybe you're off YouTube, I don't know. But you can't, if you start another channel, the first thing I'm going to do when you start the other channels, I'm going to flag it. Because your channels have been taken down for hate speech twice. You are not allowed to post on YouTube anymore at all. So the first time your voice goes on YouTube, I'm going to flag it. And so is everybody else. We all have an understanding that as soon as you come back, we're going to go to the YouTube rule guidelines that your videos, you have been deemed persona non grata on YouTube. You can't come back on YouTube. And you won't be able to go back on Facebook either. I don't understand what's wrong with you. Nobody could ever figure out what's wrong with you, but there's something wrong with you. Let's listen to a little bit more of him demeaning Daisy May. I got the T-shirts. He did. Jack has the T-shirts. A lot of people have the T-shirts. And that's another thing. He said I had cheap $2 T-shirts made up. I paid $26 per T-shirt for those vertical lip T-shirts. $26. Those are what called print on demand, and they're made with the highest quality material and the highest quality inks that you can make a T-shirt out of. And he goes, he paid $2 for. I paid $26 per T-shirt. It took me several hours of emails to get the logos right, and then it took 4 hours to go out to the guy's business in Long Island and back because of traffic to pay him a deposit, and 4 hours to go pick them up 3 weeks later when they were done. Those T-shirts cost me a fortune. Selling them for $100 for each T-shirt, for the few that I sold, it was cheap. I lose money when you figure my time and expenses into it, but, you know, it's a learning experience. If someone wants a T-shirt now, it's $200. If you don't want it, except for Scott. Scott, I got to send T-shirts to. But it's $200 for a vertical lip T-shirt now, if someone wants one. And you don't get any money. And you're never going to get any money for the T-shirts because you don't deserve any money. There's not enough proof that it's of you. You don't have vertical lips. You've said it 100 times, you don't have red hair. You're a creep, and the shirt depicts a creep. There's no doubt about the creep aspect of the shirt. There go the goats. The goats are climbing. You Well, let's listen to more. You listen to more of this video, and I'm going to go say hello to the goats. I don't have any food for them today, though. Hold on, listen.
Well, there's a reason why. Okay, but let's go back with his history. Daisy was never really his girlfriend in a way. Maybe in his head she was.
Daisy was never my girlfriend. We were together 3.5 years. You see how this piece of garbage lies about everything? Moving on.
But, of course, it's not even her name. Her name is Paula.
It's not her name.
About that, too.
That's
but
not her name.
We'll forgive that.
Daisy made the tone.
But all this time, he's pretending that he's saying goodbye from Daisy May as if she's still in a relationship. Almost like she's still in the room with him. It's all been a lie. Now, she's been gone for almost 6 months. Has it been like 6 months?
7 months it was.
Get a clue, guy. Get a clue. Get a clue. She's been busy, all right, but it wasn't helping her friend prepare for her wedding, which was going to be like 4 months later than when she went out there. And it wasn't because she was helping to build some friend's house, a room on the house, and doing some renovation. No. So this is why she hasn't had any contact. He hasn't had any contact with Daisy because, and we're going to come up with the juicy stuff coming right up. Now, she's been in Zamboanga and Kawiki Dinky.
The juicy stuff would have been you coming to my house and standing in front of my house and threatening me. That would have made some juicy video. There would have been juices flowing. So, did Daisy go to Zamboanga to help her girlfriend Chris build an extension on the house? Absolutely yes. Did she go to Zamboanga and end up going to a wedding and meeting her future husband? Absolutely yes. But what does that have to do with me? I was sending Daisy money from our Super Chat and our AdSense and our donations. But he can't get that through his head. Because when he breaks up with somebody, it has nothing to do with them. They don't exist. They're evil. They're the monster in the closet. Because he doesn't know how to have social interaction where you could not be friends with somebody but not be mad at them either. That happened just a few weeks ago. Somebody misunderstood something that I said, and he's carrying on like a little kid about it. But that's besides the point. That's not my problem. But that's how some people are. They're just not mature to understand that relationships have a boundary, a beginning and an end. Not all relationships last forever. If they did, you'd have 250 friends. How many people did you know in your whole life that you became friends with? How many people did I do things with? How many people did I do things with where we bonded for one reason or another? And then we moved on. Do you hear me talking about shit like that? Naming names, dates, places? No. Because that was just the past. Could I? Probably make for some good stories, but would I? No. But that's when you get involved with people, they know you're not going to be friends forever, but you have an agreement with, or whatever happens when we're together is kept private. And then you can go about your business for the rest of your natural life, and I can go about my business for the rest of my natural life. And there's no hardship, no hard feelings. You earn money. We did things together. We don't do those things together anymore. And you keep it a secret. Not a problem. You run your mouth about that shit in public, could be a problem. He doesn't understand agreements. He doesn't know what an agreement is. There were people that I did business with that would hand me large sums of money, cash, bags of it, in singles, fives, tens, and 20s, bags of it to do their job. Did I care? No. But I will tell you that I know where the money came from, and I don't give a shit. This is back in the 1980s. Did I rat them out that they're giving me $30,000 in $1 bills? No. Did I care? I didn't care as much as the lumberyard did, but they didn't care that much either. But that was, you were making deals, making moves. This guy doesn't understand any of that. He would have to destroy the other person. He would have to have a fight with the other guy at some time during the job and then report him to the IRS or the FBI or the local police detectives or something like that, because he doesn't understand. And in the beginning before you start the job, the guy would tell you, look, I'm going to pay you $60,000. And I'm going to pay you $60,000 as an initial deposit, and I'm going to pay it to you in 1s and 5s. Do you have a problem with that? No. Okay? And so then you already made an understanding that you know what's going on, and they know that you know what's going on. They asked you if you had a problem. Don't complain about it later when they hand you a paper bag full of singles and you have to count it out. Don't complain about it because you know what the deal is, and don't go to anybody else and let them know. Or somebody would give you $50,000 in numbered bills from a 1963 printing. $50,000 in numbered bills. Now you got to get rid of them. But they give you an extra $20,000 to keep your mouth shut. Okay? You're an asshole, dude. You don't know what it's like to keep an agreement. Now, of course, those are fictitious stories, but I'm just exaggerating some of the things that could have happened during the course of my life. But you don't go. They make it clear as day up front. Clear as day up front that this is how you're going to get paid. You have a problem with that? No. Okay. If you get caught for handing out 5 $100 bills, serial numbered in order, that's your problem, dude. That's your problem. That's not their problem. So don't do it. Go buy gum in Las Vegas, buy a pack of cigarettes in Nevada. Go buy a bus ticket that you don't get on the bus in Wyoming. Go take a road trip and, do what you got to do. But don't complain and don't spend any 2 bills in the same spot. But this guy doesn't know that. He would go back later on and try to extort those people. The guy's a creep. He doesn't know what an agreement is. He never did. He doesn't know what it's like to have a friendship break up. He's a creep. Do you not understand? The guy's a creepy little man. What names stuck with the creep? The creep stuck, right? The little fella, that stuck because he's built like a pelican. There's a bunch of different names that stuck to him. That stuck because they have so much, reverence to his personality. I mean, the guy is a coward. He's a creep. He's a liar. He's a little fella. He's a rat. There's no doubt that he's a rat. Because, he likes doing that. He ratted out Canoy in the Philippines to Canoy's wife and broke up their marriage. The guy's a freaking creep. Scott posted a link. Thank you. I'm not sure what that's for, but so let's go back to the Scott's link here. Let's see what Scott has to say. Open link in a new tab. Thanks for posting the link, Scott. Song creep. Oh, the song. The Radiohead song, The Creep, fits him perfectly. Fits him perfectly. There's no doubt that song was built. The universe created that song, The Creep, for the creep. There's no doubt in my mind. Radiohead makes the song. Thank you, Scott. Okay, I see other comments. I see some message retracted. I got t-shirts, says Jack. So let's go on and listen to some more of his worthless dribble. And none of it's true. It's just partially true, and there's a reason. Now I'm going to say it again. From August 20th on, I don't want Daisy back. She don't want to come back. I gave her way more money than most people would ever give a girl when she was leaving, because Daisy May worked for me, with me, on our project to build the hotel together, and she didn't ask for money. So I gave her money in lieu of the fact that she never asked me for a salary. That was a lot of money I gave her, okay? Now, it was enough to get her going. I didn't give it to her all at once. I promised her X amount of dollars. Any one of my friends will tell you this is the truth. X amount of pesos in her hand the day she left, the day I put her on a plane, or the day I put her on a boat to go to Cebu to get a plane ride. And then, before Christmas, I gave her the balance. But every month she got 30% of our earnings. Did she go to Zamboanga to work on Chris's house? Yes. Did she eventually meet her future husband at a wedding? Yes. Did she not answer the phone when she was with her future husband, Eugene? Yes. Did I care about it? I would have liked her to answer the phone, but she didn't. What was I supposed to do? The fraud. That's right, the fraud was another name. The fraud. People know you by so many names, all negativity. All negativity names. Everything in the negative. You could say anything negative and it would relate to you. We could call you Jimmy's wife's boyfriend and they would know who you are. Let's go back over here and play a little bit more of this video.
For the past 6 days that he's been live and trying to call her, and as you notice, she never answers the phone. What I'm going to show you is why she's too busy to answer the phone. And we're going to show you exactly why. Because Daisy has been a busy girl. And Fazio, Mr. Bahal Professor, is not in her life. She's not interested in him. And I'm going to show you why.
Look at the date on here, November 11th at 11:56 a.m. My new friend, an early morning downtown. Early morning. Spend a night together. Let's spend a night together. Well, anyway, that's Crazy Days. The girl we know as Crazy Day. And this is her new boyfriend. And let's look at this fellow here. Yeah. There you go. I just wanted to get some clarification no matter how many videos I did on here. And that was her new beau right there. Remember we said on the Bahal Professor that he's been trying to call her 6 days in a row on live shows and she never answers. That's because this is how long he has been in town in Mindanao for 6 days. And this is the reason why every time the Bahal Professor tries to call his pseudo-girlfriend, why she's so busy. Looks like a handsome gentleman, well taken care of, he's not obese. Good for her. Clap the hands for Crazy Day. His name is Doran Eugene. Doran Eugene. This is her new boyfriend. No, it's not her friend's fiance. That's not who it is. Doran, Durrin Eugene.
You see the extremes this piece of crap goes to harass people? Now, I would never do that. But I will do it to him when the time comes. if Jimmy's wife ever decides to leave him, I find a picture of Jimmy's wife with another man, I'm going to do the same thing in kind, if I can, if I have the time, if I have the wherewithal to do it. But this is what a creep does. He tries to needle you in every possible way. Who would go through the extent? Now, he's going to go on in this video now, he's going to go on to tell you that he has operatives. And one of them contacted Daisy Mae on Facebook, and Daisy Mae gave the guy her telephone number. That's a lie from the creep, because Daisy Mae's telephone number has been posted publicly on her Facebook page since the day I met her, April 21st, 2016. Her telephone number has been posted on her Facebook page. Different phone number than now, but her telephone number has always been posted on her Facebook page. I never asked her to take it off because I don't care. Cheeto butt. Right. The Cheeto butt guy. And remember the creep that's making this video right now, remember the creep was caught rubbing his personal parts whilst talking about shoving rubber dildos in the rectum of the Big E. Remember that video per se? I remember. This is what a creep this guy is. He was talking about shoving multiple dildos into Big E's rectum. And this is a fact. And then the camera fell down, and he didn't notice that the camera had fallen down, and he was rubbing his private parts. So apparently, the concept of shoving multiple rubber dildos into the Big E's rectum turned him on to the point where he was rubbing his private parts. Now, that video is available, and this is the kind of creep that does this kind of video. Okay, so let's move on, and you're going to hear about his operatives.
You can look him up on Facebook. That's your new beau. How do you like that cozy picture? Yeah. You like this? This is why Fat Boy in Bohol has been hiding her. He's been lying to you. He's been lying to everybody, but you don't believe me. Maybe you believe me now that he's been lying about Daisy, who she is, what's really going on, saying goodbye for Daisy as if she's in his life and he's still there. Yeah, this is surprise number one. You like it so far? That's her new beau. That's right. Do we have any others on this? Let's go to the original. Yeah. Look at that couple. Don't they look marvelous together? Head to head. They look like a very close couple. Darling couple. Don't you think they're a darling couple? I think so. I think they make a good team. Wow. This is from one of his own posts. And guess what? 6 days he couldn't contact her. And he's been in town for the past 6 days. What do you think of that? Do tell, Frank. Well, you figure it out. Is there hanky-panky going on? They look awfully close in this picture to me. You could make anything out of this that you want to make out of it. I'm sure he'll say something about it. 6 days, no contact. None. She's been a busy girl. Remember when I told you she's been very busy? Well, this is not the only gentleman. Another surprise. I'm not going to mention nobody's name. But there was a plant also. A plant. That somebody pretended to want to meet her. And she not only had numerous conversations with the gentleman, and this is not the guy either, but she also gave the guy her phone number. And they were to meet sometime. But then this guy came in a picture, and this guy who was the plant lost contact. And this is how it went down. She's a very busy girl. Very, very busy as a bee. Indeed. The little Daisy Mae. Watch her Zumba. How does she Zumba in bed with this guy and have real sex? Perhaps with a real man, not a pretend human. insane asylum escapee, a walrus. This is the new beau. The new beau, I tell you, the new beau. Daisy's been a busy girl. How do you like that, fat boy? This is what your girl has been doing. Embarrassing. Extraordinarily embarrassing. Lying to your public the way you do.
What's embarrassing, little fella, is when you got caught rubbing your private parts whilst talking about shoving not one, not two, but 3 dildos into Big E's rectum. That's embarrassing. Not that Daisy Mae, 5 months after we broke up, is dating another man, or 4 months later. That's not embarrassing. What's embarrassing is when you got caught rubbing your private parts, you were in the process of talking about shoving 3 rubber dildos into Big E's rectum. That's embarrassing. What's embarrassing is if I ever see you in person and you attack me or you raise your fists to me, what's going to be embarrassing is what happens next. That will be embarrassing. However, there'll be a bright side. Behind every cloud, there's a silver lining. If you ever see me in person and you ever attack me, 6 months later, you'll have a brand new set of teeth. See? So something good is going to come out of this, because what's left of your stinking, rotten teeth will be replaced with a nice new fresh set of dentures. So you have a choice. You can get in the ring with me and we could make that happen on any given day. That was a sick video. Paradoxical Q. You must have been around. You must have been around for a long time. That's the truth, what I said. The truth is, he had a tweezer's grip on that inchworm. The truth is, that is what he was talking about when he was rubbing his private parts. I'm not making that up. That's embarrassing. And he made it like, I remember it like it was yesterday. I even have that video somewhere. I don't know. I don't remember the titles. I have 1,400 videos of this clown doing and saying stuff like he's saying in this video. 14. I know I have that video saved somewhere with the actual conversation about shoving rubber dildos into Big E's rectum and rubbing his private parts. That's a sick man. How? Where do you go with that? I mean, where would you go with that? I mean, if you were talking to a psychologist or a psychiatrist and you told them that and you showed them the video, they wouldn't, I don't know if he could be, analyzed for saying stuff like that. I mean, there's something so wrong somewhere in his history that, first of all, Big E, all right? How did he make it out of the 70s and the 80s alive? Because he's a coward. He's always been a coward. He's always been probably a closet case. Always with the big mouth. But he's probably the same person now as he was 30 years ago. He talks shit behind your back, and then he runs away. That's right. Herc Hunt, while wearing women's boy shorts. What a freak show that was. He had on a pair of flyless colored panties, if I remember correctly. They had no fly for the Komasikiyama to come in and out of, and they were women's panties. They were women's panties. So he was actually wearing a woman's panties whilst rubbing his private parts. And then his rebuttal to that, when he rebutted that video, he said, I had an itch and I was rubbing my crotch. No, you don't rub your crotch for 30 seconds like this. You don't do that. It was clear as day he was rubbing one off. And who was in the room with him? None other than Jimmy's wife. Probably happy as could be, because the more attention he paid to Big E's rectum, the less attention he would have to pay to Jimmy's wife, and she was probably grateful for that. Jimmy's wife if you'll notice, since day one, has never shown him any affection. There might be affection, but she's never shown it. She's never walked up and hugged him with any kind of love in her eyes or any kind of body contact. Every time he's ever tried to kiss her, she pulls away. On his 65th birthday, he kissed her. She damn near had a heart attack. In this video that he just made, that Jimmy's wife, have you and I are still together, right? And she has to take like 6 or 7 seconds to say, oh yes, we're still together. And then at the end of the video, it was sad. Not sad, but because he deserves it. But I love you. I love you. I miss you. And then just before he hangs up the live stream, he goes, I love you too. But she never said, I love you, dude. That was in your imagination. You did it right at the end and then hung up, hoping to hide the fact that she didn't say, I love you. And you said, I love you too. I love you too is a response to, I love you. I love you. I love you too. She did not say it. She didn't say she misses you. She didn't say that everything is going to be great when you come back. She made no effort at all to make you feel comfortable coming back. She only answered your direct questions that looked like it was scripted. She doesn't love you. If you think she loves you, she's not the normal, typical Filipina. She didn't show it. She never once made a reference to, I can't wait till you come back. Never. She doesn't want you back, dude. Now, I'm not psychic, but from body language, from when you tried to kiss her when you were 65th birthday, and she pulled away from you, she don't want to kiss you. Certainly, she was disgusted that you kissed her and pulled back and then kind of gave a face and walked away. Dude, she's never shown you, and it's your 65th birthday. If she wouldn't lip lock with you on your 65th birthday, do you think that she does that out of embarrassment? Or she'll do that outside the purview of, a camera? She was disgusted that you kissed her. She wasn't just withdrawn from the fact. She was disgusted that you kissed her in a live stream. And why? Well, I think I know why, but I'm not real sure. One reason is, just a week or so before that, if you remember correctly, the picture of your mouth without your rubber dentures showed up on the internet, and you could see that half of the teeth, all the teeth on one side of your mouth are missing. Half of them. Even though you say you have a full set of teeth, that's a lie. But you also said you have a problem with the teeth that was showing or are showing, those teeth are rotted and pitted, and you said you had some sort of the only way to keep your breath smelling fresh was to brush your teeth with peroxide and baking soda, because you had some sort of gum disease, is what you blamed it on. Although it could be from the cigarettes, I don't know. I don't have those problems, so I wouldn't know what the cure is. But you have no teeth on half your mouth, and sometimes we've seen that in multiple videos. That's where those pictures come from. Maybe that day you forgot to brush your teeth with baking soda and peroxide, and the baho, the stench that was coming out of your pie hole, was too much for her. I don't know. But she didn't want to kiss you. It wasn't that she was going to kiss you for a short time. She didn't want you to be kissing her. So she doesn't like public attention? Okay, she doesn't like public attention, but affection. But you have never been shown any love from this woman at all. Not that no one's ever seen it. And now, in that video, it seemed like she was being spoon-fed information very slowly so she could analyze it and agree with you in some fashion, but it did not look natural. So nobody believes what went on. It was supposed to be Jimmy's wife coming on and telling everybody that your relationship is wonderful, but it was you feeding her pre-programmed questions. Isn't it right that we've never broke up? What is she going to say? You're supporting her and her family. She's not going to let that go right now. She's not going to let that go. She's going to play this up to the end. And who blames her? She has a good lifestyle with you paying for the bills. Why would she give it up? Just to tell the truth? You're not there to harass her. And you do harass her. She wanted to go out one day. She was gone for a few hours. Why does it take 3 hours for you to go hang out with your girlfriends? What do you care? She went out for 3 hours with her girlfriends. You're a controlling little fella. You're a jealous man. And you have every right to be jealous because you have nothing worthwhile to draw her back to your love and affection. You have no redeeming qualities whatsoever. You're not a worker. You don't do any work around the house. You don't do the yard work. You hire somebody to do the yard work. All you do all day is spend 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 hours a day on YouTube talking about other people's wives and girlfriends. Do you really think that's a redeeming quality to a woman, that you spend 7 hours a day on YouTube, and the hours that she doesn't see you on YouTube, you're out mumbling in the backyard at night making live streams? You're a fool, dude. You're a fool. Let's go on here a little bit more.
Why people give you donations. I've been telling you folks, you don't listen to me. There's not one real thing about this man. There's not one real thing about this channel. Thank you for contacting the Social Security Administration. We apologize for the delayed answering inquiry.
Here's the rat. He ratted. I don't know who he ratted out. And he rats everybody out to the Social Security. He said he ratted Barry Jordan out, but then he retracted that statement and said, well, I never really called up the Social Security. He said, because I had some money, that somehow I was doing something illegal by bringing the money into the Philippines. He said he went to the authorities on that. Well, that came out of a perfectly legitimate place. So he rats out people to Social Security. Who else did he rat out? I forget. It was somebody. I think it was. There might have been a third person. I'm not real sure, but he does rat people out. He rats everybody out. He's a rat. He's a rat. That's not a redeeming quality, being a rat. The fact that I went to the NBI because you threatened my life and my well-being, that's not really being a rat. I did the right thing legally. But you go after Barry proactively to get his Social Security taken away from him. I mean, that's like, what difference does it make if Barry Jordan collects Social Security or not? To me, none. But to you, you have to destroy everybody's life. Everybody that you come in contact with, you want to destroy their life because you're a sick, twisted, strange little man. You're strange. You're not weird. You're strange. There's two different words. You're a strange man, by definition. Let's go back and listen. Say who he was ratting out. I don't know, but he was ratting somebody out.
Social Security Administration takes reports of potential fraud very seriously. The Office of the Inspector General, OIG, investigates instances of Social Security-related fraud, waste, and program abuse. And this is actually a follow-up because I've got a very legal document here in regards to somebody. The whole professor's so-called girlfriend. Take a good look at him. We'll move on with this. Instead of me talking like in the last show, I'm just going to get to the facts on here. Everything that the whole professor says is not true after all. Every time he's tried to call her on the phone, the last 6 times, because this gentleman has been in town for the past 6 days. That's correct. The lovely Daisy May's been an awfully busy girl. To the dismay of the hole, Professor. And this is the lovely couple here, Daisy May and her new boyfriend, Mr. Doran Eugene. Bit of busy girl. That's a fact.
Okay, and there you have it. So what kind of a creepy man would be thinking about a guy named Big E and his rectum and shoving not one, not two, but 3 dildos into Big E's rectum while in the process of rubbing his private parts on camera? We have that on video, that he was talking about shoving rubber dildos in Big E's rectum while he was rubbing his private parts, and his girlfriend, or rather Jimmy's wife, was in the bedroom whilst he was doing that and aware of what he was doing. And he talks about me? Really? I guarantee you, I can't prove it, but I'm telling you, I never thought about shoving rubber dildos in Big E's rectum. It just doesn't cross my mind. It doesn't. And it wouldn't cross my mind in a sexual content. I certainly wouldn't be touching my private parts whilst talking about something like that. I mean, I'm not touching. That does not, it doesn't, but it excited him. It excited him. He's a sick man. And a psychologist, I don't even know if a psychologist or a psychiatric evaluation would be able to define the psychosis. If there was, is there a name for that? Is there a name for people that fantasize about shoving rubber dildos up another man's rectum whilst rubbing themselves? Is there a name? There might be. I don't know. I don't hang out in those circles. The closest I ever got to one of those circles was, I don't like telling this story, but I'm going to tell it anyway. So my uncle Tanus, who was Italian, but he learned how to speak Hebrew so he could do work in the garment industry. But the long and the short of it, he did a lot of different things. So he had to drop something off at let's call a spade a spade. It was on the west side, when they still had, this is New York City, not so far away from the World Trade Centers, there was the West Side Highway. It was above the ground, so it was higher than, it was an elevated roadway. Now, that was the commerce section of New York City for 200 years. The ships harbored and ported on the west side of Manhattan, and they docked there. That's where the docks were. The docks were being built. There were huge piers for steamships and freighters going back into the 1780s, 90s, 1800s. Huge poles were put in, and piers were built on top of them. And that was the commerce of the world, the mecca of the world, commerce in the United States. But then later on it turned into a red light district for mostly prostitution and gambling, and also it turned out to be a lot of, at the time, gay bars and strange places to go to. I mean, stuff that you read about on the dark web, stuff like that. S&M, that was what I was looking for. S&M clubs. So where me and Uncle Tanus. So nobody ever went anywhere alone, like someplace like that. You always went with one or two guys. So Uncle Tanus had to go and drop something off inside the club. And I would go in with him, but we were outside the club and we were just hanging out looking at the show. It was a show. guys were in the kind of gear you see in the magazines with the leather chaps and leather masks, and they had things hanging out of their ears and their eyes, jewelry and spikes in them and stuff. But one guy, this woman, I don't know where she came from, it's to my right. She walks up, and there's a guy on a leash, a man on a leash, naked. And he's on his knees and hands and knees. And he's naked. And she's telling him to bark. So, me and Tanus, we're looking at this guy. And she's going, bark. And he's barking. No, bark. I want you to bark. And he wasn't barking right. I'm going to get in trouble if I say the rest. But anyway, she got behind him with a pair of 6-inch pumps on. And she made him howl. Let's leave it at that. She made him howl and bark by using her footwear. And he was barking then. And I'm looking at this, and me and Tanus, we're laughing. So she backed off, and he stopped howling. Then he was just wincing like a little dog. And Uncle Tanus walked up to him and put a nice jellyfish phlegm into the guy's face. And said, you sick bastard, why didn't you at least bite her foot? I will never forget that. I will never forget that. I would have never thought about that. I don't even know what to think while she was doing what she was doing. I couldn't think straight. I was laughing so hard. I was like going, holy shit, did this really happen? And he just walked up and dropped one right on the guy's face, a nice jellyfish phlegm, and said, you sick bastard, why didn't you at least bite her foot? I mean, at that point, the guy should have got up and knocked the crap out of her, but that was her dog. And that was just one small little snippet of some of the things that happened in that club. I mean, there were people, you have no idea what it was like living in that time. This is going back, I'll tell you exactly when this was. This is going back into the 70s, dude, because I was still building Uncle Tanus's house on 14th Street off Avenue N. And I was still living in Brooklyn. So that was 1977, 1978. I was still living in Brooklyn at the time. Because I remember what car I had. I had a white Buick station wagon. So that was, jeez. Why don't you at least bite her foot? That was more than visual. I'll never forget that. I would have liked to have a video of that as well. But that stuff that went on in that club, that was probably nothing that went on in that club. Who knows what went on in that club? Our entire in and out of that club lasted 10 minutes at that. Knock on the door, go see so-and-so, knock on the secondary door, get into the office, exchange paperwork, and leave. Maybe 10 minutes inside and out. And there were hundreds of people in these, and there were dozens of these clubs. So in that red light district, literally in that red light district at that time, you could have a short-term relationship for $2 or $3 underneath the West Side Highway. There'd be $2 or $3 hookers. And I know this because we used to keep the tugboat at the pier, on one of those piers. That's where the tugboat would stay, and there was an old warehouse that had a guard shack on it, but the guards didn't stop the gays and the lesbians and the transvestites from going on the pier. They did not. There would be hundreds of them living under cardboard boxes and stuff like that. What the guards stopped was they didn't allow them to go on the tugboat, but they allowed them on the pier. And every morning that I went to work, I'd have to get, with my dad, we'd have to walk through that crap. So I knew what it was like from when I worked for my dad on the tugboat when I was 14. I knew what it was like in that area. And then later on, when in 1977, when I was 22, it hadn't changed. It got worse, but it hadn't changed much. So, yeah, that was a strange place, man. You're never going to see that in this world again, and probably that's a good thing, but that place was the dark web in real life. That place was the dark web in real life. You could go there and experience a woman for $2. You could buy anything you wanted. It didn't matter. If it was related to an illegal substance, you could buy anything you wanted for $2 or $3. It was an amazing time to live and to see that. Now, I didn't indulge in that stuff, but that's the point. The point is that other people did, and to experience and to see that back then. You don't hear the fraud talking about stuff like that, because the fraud never really had any real street experiences. Not like that, that's for sure. And if he did, why doesn't he talk about it? But that's a true story. And you could look up West Side Highway, 1977, what went on there. And also underneath the West Side Highway, it was known for prostitutes and drugs. And the transsexual, transvestite, drag queens, I think they call them. Yeah, that was all known for that. There was nothing that didn't happen there that was illegal. Nothing. Everything, anything and everything that was, and it all happened for less than $5. So if you really wanted to score something and you couldn't get it where you lived, you go to West Side Highway down in the lower streets, and you'd find it there for $2 or $3. Whether it was real or not, I don't know. But that's the way it was living in New York City. And you people think that you've experienced life. These people that come from the Midwest, and they had a few experiences with some strange stuff. Where I lived and grew up in New York, and the people I hung out with, completely different mindset and skill sets. Uncle Tanous had skill sets like you wouldn't believe. We all did. We were all good at something. I was good at building stuff, which means if I could build it, I could probably take it apart or open it up. Seattle. Shout out from Seattle. Been watching you many years now. Daniel Nation, thank you. Herc Hunt. Say Herc Hunt 10 times fast and see what happens. That comment is okay by Herc Hunt. Let's see if we could get that to be shown. Yeah, that comment is okay. That's the truth. I mean, he doxes everybody. He said he doesn't dox people, and I think it was Roberto that had the multiple doxing video where he doxed multiple people. Popeye, me, Roberto, Dave, Brutally Fat Fingers, and everybody else. He doxes everybody. That's what he does. I mean, he is a two-faced hypocrite when it comes to doxing. He doesn't want anybody to say anything about him, and yet he does it. He doxes everybody. He was the one that showed a picture of my shack, my house, my bunkhouse where I live. He was the one who posted that on the internet. He said that Pinoy Troll gave him the picture. I don't know where the picture came from, and I don't really care. If anybody had half a brain and they wanted to know where I lived, they just call up the building department and get directions, because they can follow that through my permits, my permit applications. So it wasn't a secret. Everybody knew I lived next door to the Stanley house, but it was him that showed my house. Because he's a strange dude, man. He's a coward. Hey, coward, when are you going to get in a ring with me? You know, when are you going to say that, let's go? When are you going to say, I'll take that $10,000 challenge? You're never going to do it, because you're a coward. And self-preservation is a wonderful thing, because you are preserving what's left of those stinking, rotten teeth of yours. Why, I don't know. Looking at your mouth and those rotten teeth that you have, knowing from one of my neighbors what your breath smells like because she has rotten teeth like that, you would be better off with no teeth at all. You would be better off with no teeth, because then you wouldn't offend people if you got in a car with them, or inside a van, or in a room. You stink up the whole room with those teeth. That's what happens. I mean, I got in a car, I could tell you the guy's name and show you a picture of the guy. I got in a car with a guy 2 weeks ago, an American, well, not a foreigner. Let's put it like this, a foreigner. And I got in a car, and his car smelled so bad I had to tell him, let me out here, from his breath. And I hadn't seen him in a long time, and he smiled at me, and he's missing his upper front teeth, most of his lower teeth. There were a couple of teeth in the back. The ones that he had left were all rotten. You could see they were all falling apart like yours. And the car smelled so bad that I got about 3/4 of the way where I was going. I couldn't take it anymore, even with the windows open. Couldn't take it anymore. I had to get out of the car. And your teeth are as bad as his. So, you know, for hygienically, you talk about me living in squalor. Your mouth is squalor. Your mouth is full of bacteria and disease that has to be killed with none other than hydrogen peroxide and baking soda every day. Now, this is to dress the wounds on my leg, but I don't brush my teeth with peroxide and baking soda. My breath doesn't smell. I don't smoke. I don't have rotten teeth. I just went to the dentist and spent a lot of money on dental work to have a cap and a crown done. But what teeth I have, they're in good shape. But your teeth are all scaly and cracked and broken and yellow and nodules. And you're disgusting, dude. That's why Jimmy's wife doesn't want to kiss you, because your teeth are the most one. It's disgusting. You'd be better off taking what's left of your teeth out and getting a pair of dentures. I mean, my dad had dentures. My dad had a gum disease. He lost all his teeth and never had a cavity in his whole life, and then he lost all his teeth in a matter of a few weeks because he had a gum disease and they had to pull all his teeth out. So he got a pair of dentures. No big deal. But you'd be better off with dentures than having that stench come out of that pie hole of yours. That's my opinion. He uses the wrong brush in the bathroom. Probably. I don't know, man. You're a strange dude, man. You're a strange dude. You know, I've been going through which videos I want to talk about. The red-headed fairy tales, stories. Which ones? There were so many. There were so many. And then I could incorporate the truths in with them. The truth is that you're a sick dude. That's the truth. The truth is, if you got in the ring with me, you wouldn't last 45 seconds. The truth is, if you come to my house and threaten me, the conversation would be one of the... See, I'm not I'm not like these people. I guess you're used to sitting out in the middle of the street screaming at people. That shit doesn't happen with me, man. You start running your mouth, then we're going right then and there. I already know what you're going to do. I already know what you're going to say. So what do I got to listen to that crap for? And I've already reported you to the NBI 3 years ago that you were coming to my house to threaten me physically. So I'm covered that way. If you come, but then you have to, this is what he has to get everybody else involved. He had to get Jimmy's wife's family involved. You don't know her family. She has family in who gives a shit how much family she has in Bahal? Somebody's going to risk all for you? For what? What are they going to do that for? I would bet most people in the family don't even like you, but I don't know that for a fact. But what are they going to risk their freedom for? Or more than their freedom for you? Knowing that you go around causing trouble for everybody, you're the instigator, why would they want to defend you? Except for money. So, you've also said that, too. I could take care of them. There are other ways, but I want to do everything legal. That's a threat in and of itself. Dude, you're a piece of work. You're a piece of work. You are the red-headed fairy tale story maker. You are him. And the operative word there is fairy. That's what you are. All right, so I'm going to end this live stream. If it stopped raining, and it did. Sun is out. Sun is out. The rain is drying up. And I'm going back outside. I got some stuff to do. I got to go see a few people. Nothing important. And then I got to figure out where I've been trying to buy chain to move the containers with. Shopee, $8 a yard for 10 millimeter chain. $8 a yard. I'm reluctant to buy chain because I think in Cargo Container 2 I have enough chain to do the job I want to do, to pick the containers up. I think. I know I had it. I may not have taken it, but I know I did have it. I may have sold it in a garage sale in Key Largo. There's so much stuff in Cargo Can too. I know I have slings, 10-foot slings. I could use 2 slings or 1 sling and a cape and a chain. I gotta figure this out. And then I still have to I have to go up the block and talk to the guy who owns the boom truck. See what he wants an hour to come down here and work. That's probably true, Mike Hunt. Soon, if he doesn't need diapers already, see now, as people get older, they lose their ability to hold their water. I don't. I've never had that problem. No matter how drunk I got, I never peed in the bed. I take a water pill right before I go to bed, and I wake up, I have to pee, but I don't pee in the bed. But he might pee in the bed. I mean, that's possible. There are people that pee in the bed. When you go in the store, or when you see, there are men that wear diapers from earlier, younger than us, younger than me and him, that wear diapers because they pee in the bed. They don't have any bladder control. My bladder works just fine. In fact, when I pee, a way to tell if your bladder is doing its job, I literally pee 350 milliliters of fluid. That's a lot. Here, see this bottle here? That's 700 milliliters. I can go halfway up that bottle with one pee. I pee one time and it'll fill up half that bottle. That's a lot. There are a lot of men my age that just pee a half an ounce or an ounce, and they go back and forth to the bathroom all night. When I wake up in the middle of the night and pee, I fill up half this bottle. That's bladder control. When I pee during the day, I just sat here for how many hours? 3 hours? When I didn't pee. But I mean, if when I do pee, I'll fill up half this bottle, or a little bit less, or a little bit more. That's a good bladder, a good kidneys. But this guy, who knows, with all the crap that he takes, all that medicine that he takes, he calls it medicine. He takes this for this and takes that for that, and he spends $150 a month on vitamins. The guy is such a what do they call that when you're worried about getting sick? Hypochondriac. He's a hypochondriac. I don't understand that shit. I've taken vitamins. I don't notice any difference. I've tried them. I even built 3 health food stores and took vitamins. Solgar, Solgar, Solgar vitamins, the best. They come in a brown bottle with the white top. I took Solgar vitamins for the whole time I worked for Ed and Laura DeSimone. I took Solgar vitamins for years, and because I got them at a discount, I didn't notice any difference. And we used Solgar and Ostitol because that was the best to do our to vitamin B supplement. Anyway, that was the best one though, and that we used to buy by the case, 2 or 3 cases at a time. Know the story. So, but yeah, I never noticed any difference if I took vitamins. Even if I took them now, I don't know that I don't have any problems. I don't have problems sleeping because I work. I don't have any problems eating because I eat good. I have no problems peeing because I don't have those problems. I showed you my blood work. It's perfect. Although the creep keeps saying I have diabetes, but wager me $10,000, creep. See, this is what he does. He runs his mouth, but he won't ever back it up. He runs his mouth and won't ever back it up no matter what it is because he's a freaking creep. He's a backstabbing, slimy little weaselly little creep of a subhuman species. New teeth. Yeah, you know, that's my father was the same way, Jack. My father would pee almost a quart when he was in his 60s. My father had a big bladder. I mean, literally, my dad could pee a quart. So we come from a long line of healthy peers. We're good pissers. We come from a healthy line of pissers. When they say he's a pisser, they really mean that about me. He's a pisser, half a freaking liter. But my dad would go almost a full quart. I remember because when I would bring my dad to the VA hospital, they would tell him to pee. He goes, and he would pee. You know, they would want to know how much he was going to pee. They give him a beaker, and he'd fill it up, and he'd go, where did you get that? No, that's me, just now. And my dad was a pisser also. We come from a long line of pissers. Wicked pissers. Well, that's the truth, though. I mean, I could show it to you, but I'm not going to do that on live stream. But passport's here. Welcome. When the bunghole looks like a stretched out orange manhole cover, it's difficult to hold in the doo-doo. He uses the wrong brush in the bathroom. I could just imagine a fry of garden gnome in front of your house with him. A little garden gnome? I like that idea. Put a little picture of the creep on there. I like that. He might need diapers now. Mike Hunt. And that's the truth, though. I mean, you know, and he's always talking about people pissing in their pants when they see him. Maybe subliminally he's announcing to the world that he pisses in his pants. I don't know. And passport, when the bunghole looks like a stretched out orange manhole cover, it's difficult to hold in the doo-doo. And it might be stretched out. We don't know that because he's always talking about everybody else being gay. Does he have a secret life that we don't know about? Is he projecting his fears of being gay on everybody else? I mean, I don't talk about gay on my show much because that shit doesn't bother me, whether you're gay or not. That doesn't affect me at all. But he calls everybody gay and they're all gay for him. How's that possible? How's Biggie gay for him? How's Roberto gay for him? How's Dave gay for him? How am I gay for him? How's Scott gay for him? How are Warren gay for him? How are Warren and I gay? How are Scott and I gay with each other? How are Jack and I gay that he doesn't know? Maybe there's some secret stuff going on Skype. How does he come up with this crap? Because in his head, the fear of, I'm not saying he is gay, but his inhibitions, he might want to be gay. And he projects that on everybody else to make it okay for him to think about being gay. He was certainly being gay-like when he was talking about shoving rubber dildos up Big E's rectum while he was rubbing his private parts. That's gay. Okay? Now, that's not subliminal, that's gay. I don't give a shit. That's a gay... that's a gay thing, I think. I don't know. You'd have to ask an expert. Do we have an expert on gayism here? Holy shit, when I think about that. Dude, you were rubbing your private part while talking about Big E's buttocks and shoving rubber dildos into three rubber dildos at the same time. Multiple rubber dildos at the same time. You were talking about that. You're a sick puppy, dude. I mean, maybe that's not sick in today's world. Maybe that's sick because I'm at a certain age, but you are at that age too, so you were thinking about it. Maybe you hang out with a different crowd than I do. I don't know. I didn't spend a lot of time thinking about that. I did show the video to the NBI, and they gave you a name because of that. Maybe I could look that video up with the name that they gave. They gave you a name when they saw that video. I'm not going to say it because I'm not going to embarrass the NBI. But they all watched that video of you rubbing yourself talking about Big E's rectum. The NBI. Everybody in the office watched it. I sent a copy to show that you're messed up in the head, and everybody, it was like something that went around to the officers to show them what the NBI agent was dealing with in real life, mental state. They used it as a way to judge what type of a person you are. I won't tell you what they came up with, but it wasn't good. Well, let's go back to the comments here. Wicked pisses, says Scott Del Fuego. Hey, Scott, I hope you got my messages. Ladies, and you don't have to reply. I'm pretty sure you did. You don't want to puss him off because you'll... Because you'll drown. You're drowned. Jack, Scott, pissing in his pants is whole old hat for him. His whole hat. Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I've been in where people say they lose their mud or they piss in their pants. And that never happened to me. I've been scared before. I've been involved with stuff that required my full attention, but I never peed in my pants. Old hat. Rubbing his wiener schnitzel, listening to Big E while wearing hair removal on his legs. And he did do that. While wearing ladies' panties. Freak. He did have ladies' panties on. See, Passport remembers it as well. The guy had ladies' panties on with no crotch opening, rubbing his private parts while talking about shoving multiple dildos up Big E's rectum. Where do you go from there when it comes to a psychosis? I mean, do psychiatrists know how to classify somebody that does that? I mean, I don't know. It's sick. I mean, I could see. I mean, let's face it, okay? Everybody, pretty much everybody has fantasies about different things. But my fantasies are about beautiful women, if and when I have them. But never, Big E is not going to get me hard. I'll tell you that right now. Now, and I've had quite a few experiences with extremely beautiful women, but never did I ever think about shoving a dildo up a man's rectum while I was with a woman, or while I was not with a woman. It just something that doesn't cross my mind. My brain doesn't work like that. But he did. I mean, there's a woman who does nothing for me at all. J-Lo, I think her name is something. She's very pretty, but she doesn't interest me even pretty. Now, that there's another girl that's really pretty. She starred in a movie with that British guy. There's two women, Anderson, something. The two girls have the same name. They're beautiful girls. They're very pretty. Now that I would go out of my way for. But Jennifer Anderson, something like whatever her name is. She's pretty. I mean, but I don't think about her when I'm having sex. But I mean, and when I saw the movie with her in it, I would say I would definitely go after that. I mean, that would be something I would want to do. And if I was in my 20s and she was in her 20s and we met, I'd probably end up doing her. But never would I ever fantasize about Big E's rectum. That's just not going to come across. It's not in my diction. No pun intended. But he did that. Because he's a sick man. And he was sitting like a girl with his legs crossed. You're right about that. Sitting cross-legged like a chick. He was doing that. He's worse than the Spernips guy. Yeah? I don't know about that. I think him and the Spernips guys would have a happy weekend together. That's for sure. I picture him, I could picture him catching and pitching. I don't know if it's true or not, but I could picture that. People are strange, man. I grew up in New York City. You have... I'm not going to talk bad about some of the people that I hung out with, but there were some tough guys I knew that went both ways. And, you don't think that that's the way it is, but some guys are like that. And I didn't say anything about it, but they would let you know. They'd give you a double shake. And they'd let you know that they were gay one way or another. And if you wanted to have sex with them, they'd have sex with them. And these were some very powerful people. But I never did. That doesn't interest me. Now, I don't know for what reason they did what they did, and I don't really care. We were all making money, so It was just about money. It wasn't about, and we all had girlfriends. Not only that, we all went to the same concerts together. There was a group of guys. In the group of guys I hung out with, there was, on any given Thursday night, 60 to 66, 68 people would go to the Carolina restaurants in Sheepshead Bay, Brooklyn. In Coney Island, Brooklyn. The Carolinas restaurant, Coney Island, Brooklyn. I forgot the street it was on, but there'd be, and on any given Thursday night, 66 of us would go to that restaurant. And the owner, as we started coming in, it was every Thursday, as we started coming in, it was before we went out too, this was just for dinner. As we started coming in, they would start clearing the tables and put everybody that was in the room, they just moved their table up against the wall in the back room, if anybody knows the restaurant, the Carolinas restaurant. And then our tables would be in a big rectangular shape, and we'd sit inside and outside the table, and there'd be anywhere from 50 to 66 people. Then, and it was just platters of food. No one ordered anything special. But in that group of people, it was half guys and half girls. 4 or 5 of them were straight up and down bisexual. Nobody cared. Nobody cared. We were all friends. We were all making money. We were earning. We were all in the same business, so to speak. We were all making money. Thursday night was the Carolinas. Friday night was strictly for the guys. Strictly for the guys. My apartment, Ernie's apartment, Johnny, the Undertaker's apartment, Frankie's house. The girls would leave. It was only guys Friday night. Monday night was not football. Monday night was with the girls. With the girls every Monday. Saturday, Sunday night, out. One club or another. Didn't matter where we went, but we all went pretty much to the same club. And then once a month, Johnny, the Undertaker, his name was Johnny he actually lived right near the Carolinas. The Undertaker also worked for Ticketron, and once a month we'd go see Engelbert Humperdinck, Diana Ross, any one of those major singers that were playing at the Westbury Music Theater. I got to actually take pictures of Diana Ross and my friend Ernie dancing with one another. I have those. I'll show them to you one day. But once a month we went to a concert, 50, 60 people strong. I mean, I stayed with a solid group of people from 19... I met him in 77. I was introduced. The only way you could get into a certain circle or group of friends was to be introduced as a friend from another group of people or somebody that you grew up with. And I was introduced into this. In 77, I was 22, and I was introduced. I was the youngest person in the whole group. And Ernie was like 37 at the time. And I was introduced into Ernie's little clique. And immediately we were all friends because I was given the okay, verbal okay to be one of their, one of the group. And we had so much fun. You can't even begin to explain the shit that we did. We'd all go to Florida together. 30 or 40 people would go to Florida together. We all went out to the Hamptons together. We all lived. Ernie lived right next door to me. Uncle Tanous lived in Brooklyn. Johnny the Undertaker lived in Brooklyn. Frankie lived in Brooklyn, right near the Verrazano Bridge. And we all, and the nights that it was just the guys, Friday night, it was just the guys. There were no girls. And Monday nights was the girls and the guys. And you got to remember that this went on for years. It went on until from 77, the group finally broke up around 1989. And nobody ever got arrested, ever. Not one time. Not one member of the entire group ever did anything stupid and got arrested. So that was saying a lot. And we had a lot of fun. But you people that live in the Midwest, you wouldn't understand any of this. You people that live in, the outskirts of Ohio, you wouldn't understand any of what went on in New York City. You wouldn't understand the way things were. You're just not going to understand that. I mean, how do you describe people that weighed suitcases with money in it, not counted it, they just weighed it out, or weighted out money? How do you describe that to somebody unless you saw it? That's just the way it was. That was the 70s and the 80s. I sure wish I had one of those suitcases now. Jennifer Aniston. She gets more attractive with age. Yeah, that was the one. I think that was the one that played with the British guy. I forgot the guy's name. I wouldn't kick Jennifer. Yeah, no, she is pretty, man. What's that guy? The bald-headed guy. He's pretty. He's a good tough guy. I don't know if he's a real tough guy in real life, but he definitely can fight. And he was in a movie. What was the name of that movie? The Mechanic. Recently, that was his newest movie. It's probably 10 years old. But that was a pretty good movie, The Mechanic. I think she was in it. But there were two, Jennifer Anderson and Jennifer something else. But I would, that I would want to do, but not Big E's rectum with rubber dildos. No, out of the question. Even if he asked me nice, I wouldn't want to do that. But the little fella, he was getting off on that, man. And Jimmy's wife was right there watching. She didn't say a word. There's something wrong there. All right. We're going to get rain again. I would not kick Jennifer Aniston out of bed for eating crackers. That's... Nobody in their right mind would. I mean, who knows? Who knows? Hold on a minute. Guapo, what are you doing? Trabajo? Oh, you look good up there, Christian. Like an ungoy. Ungoy. You be careful. Huh. All right. I'm going to get outside. It stopped raining and stopped raining and the sun is out. Got to get up the block and talk to the guy with the truck. He should be coming home soon. I'll see you guys later. Thanks everybody for stopping by. And if you see the creep, tell him I said I got 1,400 videos saved on an external drive. And I might just go through all 1,400 of them. If I have nothing to do and it's rainy season, which it is now, I'm just going to go through them one at a time, day by day, and knock his so-called truth stories down into what they really are. Then they're lie streams, LIESTREAMS. That they're lie streams. He doesn't ever tell the truth about anything in its entirety. Now, if there was a way to risk my life to prove that what I just said was true. Now, I do have pictures of my friend. I'm on the stage with Donna Summers and my friend Ernie, and he's dancing with Donna Summers. So that video, those pictures, when I find them on the drive that they're on, I have 7,000 pictures, and when I find them, I'll show it to you. That I could prove is true. So if that's true, then the fact that once a month Johnny the Undertaker would get us tickets from Ticketron, that should be true, right? And if there was a way to go back in time and open up my psyche and show you suitcases of cash, I would do that too. Now that's the kind of stuff you don't take pictures of. And you know, I will tell you something else. The guy who I worked for that just weighed out suitcases of cash, I don't have a picture of him. Because when I met him, he went over the rules. He took me to a place in Rockaway. Just me and him. It was a house. There was nobody in the house. Just me and him. Huge. It was a fortress. It was an amazingly big, beautiful, white house. And he took me into the house, and I had known him for years prior to that, but just as the guy down the block, let's say. And he sat me down, and he talked to me for about, I don't know how long the talk was. It was the talk, T-H-E, the talk. And he explained the way the world works, not the way we think the world works. He explained the way the world works, how, and he went into every detail, how the U.S. military was bringing illegal substances into America, who in the U.S. military was working as mules for that stuff, and who was allowed to sell certain things, and who would not get arrested for doing certain things. And he explained the way the world really works. And I found it hard to believe, but then he said, and when you go back home, because I lived in, well, I don't want to tell you where I live, but anyway, when you go back home, you talk to Gene and ask Gene if what I said is true. And my friend Gene and I were friends since I was 5. So we're not talking about, and Gene was the guy who hooked me up with him. And I talked to Gene. He goes, you had to talk? And I said, yeah. He goes, did he take you to the White House? I said, yeah. He goes, you're in. He goes, don't fuck it up. And that was what he said. And never did I ever do anything to cross either one of those two guys or anybody in the group. But you don't understand the way the world really works. You people have no idea how things worked back then and how they work now. You hear about the war on drugs. There's no war on drugs. There never was. You hear about in the 70s, you could go to East New York. You could go to East New York, and there'd be a guy on the corner with a baggie, a 2-kilo baggie full of crack. And you just tell him how much crack you wanted, and the police were right on the corner making sure that guy didn't get robbed. The drugs, there was never a war on drugs. You people think that drugs were illegal. They were only illegal if the police weren't involved with getting a cut. Maybe now it's different. Probably now it's different. But back then, that's the way things worked. The world does not work like most people believe it works. And so there are things that I participated in or knew about that you people wouldn't even begin to comprehend. There are people that run the show. Like the guy down the block was running the show. And he was He was just a regular looking guy. He was the guy running the show. When he went out, when he went out to buy cars for transportation, he would buy 12, 10, 11 of the identical car and get 11 license plates in numeral order. So that when they were going back and forth from Florida to New York, the cars wouldn't look, the license plates would almost be like the same, you know. And then he'd put industrial grade springs in the car so you could put extra weight in the car. Super Duty 12 ply tires so it would hold the weight. He'd put Vaseline on the front of the car so that when you went through Georgia, you could wipe the bugs off when you went through, you know, when you came into Florida, and vice versa. This guy had everything worked out, and he worked for the government. You have no idea how things really work. And that's how things worked. Now it's different. And now he would be, I'm 66. He'd be in his late 80s. He's dead already, long time. And I don't know that that's even true, but he would be in his late 80s. You have no idea how the world works. You have no idea. You talk about politics and how corrupt it is. Look what Obama did to America. Look what Biden's doing to America. Every day DeSantis gets on the radio and destroys Biden. Nothing happens. Every day the one politician is calling another politician a liar. Nothing happens. Every day Ron Paul gets on and destroys somebody's personality. Nothing happens to them. It's a big game. That's what they call it, the game. Not anything that you would understand. But that's just the way the world works. And the creep, he's never been privy to any of this shit. Even though he was in New York, nobody ever let him into an inner circle of anything other than nothing. He's never been part of a group. No one would have him as a group member because he's a freaking creep. He's a rat bastard, number one. He wouldn't last that long to begin with. After the talk at the White House in Rockaway, there were no second chances. There were no second chances. You did what you were told to do, and that's what you did. You have no idea how the world works, you people out there. You got that, all these creepy guys that are watching my show that don't say anything. You have no idea what really goes on, what really went on. Could I tell you more? I could. You wouldn't believe it. What difference does it make what I say? But I wouldn't divulge the information. Now, there are stories to go with the stories with dates, times, places, names, and addresses. But I wouldn't do that. Okay? Because, but it's just, I just try to make you understand that you people out there, I'm different than you people are. There's no doubt that I am completely different than you people. I grew up in a completely different world. When the creep says he's going to come there and stand in front of my house and yell at me, no, he's not. He's not. And if he does, it will be a mistake. But the creep doesn't understand that because nobody's ever put the creep in his place. But I can tell you, the creep will not do that. He can talk about it. I let him talk about it. He's going to come. I've never said I was going to go look for the creep. I never did that. First of all, I wouldn't say it. Second of all, if I had to think it, it would be more problematic for him than he would understand. And number three, it's not that important as long as he sticks to just running his little mouth and he stays in his little part of the world. But if he's going to shut my hotel job down, he's going to get me put in jail, he's going to get me locked up, he's going to get me deported. No, he's not. Not going to happen. He can say it. He can even try to do it, but it ain't going to happen. So the creep thinks that he understands how things work. Well, the creep does not understand all that he needs to know. The creep has gotten away with it because of the lack of manhood that exists in this world. And that's why the creep is still walking around. To answer that guy's question is, how did he get away with this? How did he get through the 70s and the 80s? He got away with it because he's a slime ball. Most people like him got snuffed out back in, in the early 80s. All right. That's it. That's your stories for today. Now, if I could pull those videos out of my brain of the guy barking and then howling, that would be I don't know, I'd get thrown off YouTube for that, but it would be funny. I do have pictures of Uncle Tanous, though, and I don't know where they are. I built enough stuff. I built enough houses for him, private things. Very private. I gotta go. Thanks for stopping by. Take care, Jack, John. Passport. Flying Circus, Mike Hunt. Jack, was another guy in between there. Daniel Nation, shout out from Seattle. Herc Hunt. Scott Del Fuego. Thanks, Scott, for stopping by. Paradoxical Q. How did this guy make it out of the 70s and 80s? Because back then, the Paradoxical Q was asking a logical question. Back in the 70s and the 1980s, when I started telling you about the White House, and I only started telling you about the White House, I didn't tell you what really went on there, but if you crossed somebody, you just disappeared. And nobody looked for you because there was no place to look for you. You were gone. If I told you how it happened, that would really be disturbing. That would really be disturbing. You would not believe it, number one. You've probably never even heard of this. We're not talking about acid or chopping people up or anything like that. But if I told you how they would make you disappear back in the 70s and 80s, you would say, what the... Never heard of that before, but it's true. Kenny, I don't know why you retracted all your statements. Andrew, see, Kevin said hello to Scott. Jack, thank you. DQ, my Philippines DQ, thank you. Yeah. So you guys, you all think that Fazio was some slouch, and it's not really true. That's just not how I am. So standing in front of my house and yelling shit out at me, it ain't gonna go well. I'm telling you right now. I laugh about it because I already know what's gonna happen. In my head, I already have this whole thing going through my head. Not going to work out well. I don't care if you come with 5 people. I don't care about shit like that. 5 people would be better than just one person. But for me, 5 people would be better. And there's a reason for that, but I won't tell you what the reason is. You people got me mixed up with somebody else. All right. Anyway, I'll talk with you guys later. Thanks for stopping by. And remember, I am Mr. Congeniality, and that means that I'm the nicest guy that you'll ever meet. I come with my own references. Ask me. I'm Pink Permy from the Philippines, baby. That's right. Bye-bye for now. From the Philippines, baby.